Hello, world, and welcome to another exciting episode of Double Tap, the show that's had a bit of a learning curve, but it's starting to find its feet, I think.
Hooray.
We're getting there. My name's Jesse.
I'm Colin.
I'm Dallas.
I'm Gabby.
And what's up? I'm Demi.
Gabby's here, guys.
Woo!
Surprise!
It's a miracle. I'm the fifth chair.
So-
I'm the fifth chair today. Yeah, we never know if
Never
Gabby's gonna
know.
actually show up.
I would hope that you would show up at least for our year-end/year beginning podcast.
You would hope.
She's here.
You would hope. I work a lot, guys.
So what are we doing today, guys?
Today, we're discussing a topic that is not my strong suit.
Or mine,
So
actually.
I'm just going to moderate for most of this.
Mine's gonna be real basic.
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
Hashtag
I found a
basic
suitable workaround. I
2018.
think you're all going to be proud of me. But,
It's gonna be movie music, isn't it?
anyways, today we're talking about our top 10 2018 musicians
Music artists.
Music artists.
of 2018.
Yeah.
Our top 10 2018 music artists of 2018.
So today we're
Beautiful.
I did actually.
Yes, you did.
I literally
You
so today we are
definitely did.
discussing our top 10 music artists of 2018.
It's artists that have released
You
music
got that.
this year
Or gone on
or
tour.
gone on tour.
Yes.
So
All
who
right,
wants
so basically
to
we're going
start?
to be going through and doing, everyone's going to do their number 10, everyone's going to do number 9, so on and so forth until we get to our number 1.
Let's start with that.
Well, yeah, starting
Start
with
with your number 9. I don't
I don't have any.
me and Dallas
Honorable
do.
mentions. Say them all at once, please.
Cool. So Dallas, you want to start with your honorable mentions and I'll do mine?
Sure. Okay.
Get your list out.
My honorable mentions this year of 2018. Starting with 3 Days Grace.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn, you went to the emos.
I'm guessing nobody has 3 Days Grace.
Hell to the.
Well, it's an honorable mention, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
just
listening to
say
them a
your
while.
honorable
yeah.
mention.
But I respect it.
Cool. Lou Big Goranson, Michael Giacchino, and the Teen Titans.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Namely, Tara Strong, Kari Payton, Greg Sipes, Hendon Walsh, and Scott Minville. Because
What about
songs they made.
What about
so fire.
hold on.
Damn, 3 Days Grace is on the screen.
Is it Michael Bolton?
Yeah, he doesn't count.
He doesn't.
I
What?
love him. He was great. And like his song was great. But this is for all the songs in the movie. And he's only in one.
All right, fair.
Also, Tara Strong is my favorite actress, and I'm just so happy to be able to say her name in reference to a theatrically released movie now.
Yeah.
So-
Look at
Well,
her.
she's had one before.
Are you talking about
My Little Pony that came out. She was in
Oh
it.
god,
Yeah,
can we not?
that's true.
It's a theatrical release.
Technically,
Whether you
she's
like it or
also
not.
in the Rugrats, and Rugrats have definitely had theatrical releases.
That's
There's also
true.
that.
That's like
Which one?
3. She's Tommy.
Isn't she
Is
Tommy?
she not Tommy?
She's Tommy.
I think she is.
She's definitely Tommy.
Yes.
No, she's...
Also, wait,
still gonna get-
wasn't she in the Harley Quinn movie?
No,
That
she was in
wasn't
the...
technically a theatrical
Killing
release. That was a
Joke.
special.
Oh, The Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke
Which
was
also
a
technically had a theatrical
release.
release.
Guys, we're getting way off topic. So my honorable mentions are basically everybody who I saw on tour this year that's not on this list. So Danny DeCane, Machine Gun Kelly, Fall Out Boy, and Childish Gambino. Kendrick Lamar is on here for curating the Black Panther soundtrack, and Naomi Scott is on here. She released 3 songs this year, all of which were dope,
Interesting.
but she did not make my list.
I can add an honorable mention now for Barack Obama.
That's what I was
Hey,
saying, though. I was getting into it.
Like, he's
For-
We
on
brought up Michelle
a
earlier.
Hamel drop track.
Hamel drop.
He doesn't actually sing, but he's on the track.
He's in it.
So, like, honorable mention to Barack Obama.
While we're doing that, I want to give a shout out to JoJo, who literally
Oh yes.
took
I was surprised you didn't say that.
I forgot. JoJo, who took her first 2 albums that she did not have the rights to until recently.
Wait, what?
And she re-recorded every song off of both albums and just released all of them.
She,
and
like,
it was,
Get Out.
and she
like,
made them,
Yo, for real, though?
and she made them
Oh, I'm
better.
about that.
They're great.
They're great. She made
We're
them
listening to
better.
them on the way here.
So
Really?
shout out to her for doing that, because fans have been dying to have her first 2 albums back on the scene, and now we can have them and even better than before.
Fantastic.
So thank you for that.
Tara Strong was Dill Pickles.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just looked
Yeah.
at it.
Okay, I know she's not Tommy.
Easiest paycheck
That's-
she ever got.
Yeah, that's
okay.
you do a few efforts and you leave. Like, you're good.
It's like Alan Tudyk's paycheck. That was super easy too.
In Moana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, excuse you. He put his heart and soul
Oh
into
no,
those
he
screams.
did, but he could have phoned it in. And it
All right, guys, let's start with this actual list, please.
Yeah, for the love of God.
Who wants to go?
first.
Nose goes. Oh, I'll go first. Fuck it. If it.
Gabby
So-
said.
well, that was
go.
dramatic.
No, goes. Actually,
first.
forget that. I'll go first.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
I mean, whatever.
Goes.
I'm gonna go.
go.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Number
I'm gonna
10.
start this basic ass bitch list with Drake.
That's fine.
told you
like
it
what
was
you like.
super
Let her
basic.
like what she likes.
I just laugh because I'm surprised.
Stop yucking my young. Actually, here's the thing. Does anybody else have Drake? No. Okay.
Nope.
So I
Don't
think
sound so
I
dismissive.
think Drake as a person is a little bitch, but
Wow.
he is.
You didn't
I
have
would
to come for
destroy
He's upset.
Yeah,
You would destroy
he
him in
is.
what
Oh, I'm
context?
sorry, Chumpers. I would probably destroy him in his.
This
in
just
real
in.
life.
Gabby wants to
But
fight Drake.
his-
I don't know why, but she does.
Not that kind of destroy. But
Oh.
anyway,
No, she
but his music always gets stuck in my head, and I hate that.
But do you like
but
it?
I like it. Yes, I do. I was jamming Nice for
All right.
What for months, and I'm still
you
jamming
love
to
him.
it. I do really enjoy his music, but he's number 10 because I just hate that I like him so much.
Interesting.
So number 10. That's my number 10.
All right.
All right.
Oh, what a way to go.
That was so dramatic.
So when you say you would destroy him,
We're gonna talk about this when the
Okay, cool.
mics aren't recording.
So my number 10 is a combination. It is David Diggs and Rafael Casal,
Oh,
who I know
no,
is
that's
definitely
way
on
higher
somebody
on my list.
else's list.
That's
So
on my
I'm
list.
not going to talk about it.
Higher on my
Yep.
list. Yep, skip that.
we'll get there.
Cool. All right. So my number 10 is James Newton Howard
Of course
The
you did. I knew you were gonna
Who?
do this. I
for
knew you were gonna
Fantastic
do
Beasts: The
this.
Crimes of Grindelwald.
I knew you were gonna.
He's
do
also
it.
done a lot of other things over the years, but we're talking about 2018.
Yeah.
So he did Crimes of
That's the
Grindelwald.
problem with composers.
Yeah, he's one of the
done a
best.
lot of stuff.
He's one of the best.
He did the music for The Village, and I really
The
enjoyed
Village
that
is
music.
fantastic. The
So for
music is
2018,
But
just
I
did Fantastic
knew you
For
were gonna do
2018, he
this.
just did Fantastic Beasts.
I
Not
knew
a
you were
movie
gonna
I
do composers.
did not like, but
you
the
like the
music was really good.
I like
And I think whenever somebody can take like
Something
can make a
that's already
score
established.
following up in the immortal John Williams, that's worth bonus points. And
or at least a strong one. I mean, it's not. John
yeah, and the
Williams.
Harry Potter franchise is known for its strong scores. Even when John Williams left,
Yeah,
all the people who took over did great, and that includes James Newton Howard.
Goblet of Fire fell short a little.
Hey, that one has the Durmstrang entrance, which is
Oh yeah, that theme is
Fine.
incredible.
more
Fine.
epic than it has any
I
right to be.
will
Right?
give you that.
They're
one.
literally walking down a hallway, but
But it's like, yeah, he didn't have to go that hard for them, and yet he did.
also I hear
Fine.
that song like once a day at least.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
You work there.
Yeah.
Colin, number 10.
My number 10 is Toby Fox. He's a composer who has made a couple games, and he released a new one this year called Deltarune. And that man, first of all, I think the guy's just a genius. Like the games he makes, I don't like them, but they're incredible. I respect that.
and me
But
are
his
like-
music goes so hard. The battle theme for Deltarune is just like you listen to it and you want to punch a wall. You know, it's he does really cool things with like I don't know what it's called, like chiptune or like 8-bit music, where it's like really electronic and really interesting. And he just does a lot of interesting things with like musical motifs that will repeat throughout. Shit is so good. It's really good music to listen to. Like if you want to listen to something while you like write or whatever, shit's good. And
Cool.
I would definitely recommend checking out the Deltarune OST. You don't have to play the game, like it doesn't matter, but just the music slaps.
The music slaps.
I don't think I've ever heard Colin say that something slaps.
Listen,
Colin has a new catchphrase every day. I love it.
He says it pretty often.
One of my favorite things about
I've
Colin.
heard him say it twice today, which I'm assuming is his new. I haven't been around, guys. I haven't been around.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Cool.
Dallas?
Number 10 is Logic.
Nice.
Yes.
I do like Logic.
Logic.
I
is-
don't like Logic.
Oh,
I think his
I think I
wordplay.
know
He's
one
super,
of his
super
songs.
whiny to me.
I
but
loved his-
Also, I think the same thing about Drake.
what are you saying to me?
I like the wordplay that he did on like the Suicide Squad soundtrack. Yeah.
He's dope.
He's dope.
He actually made 2 albums this year.
Damn.
He made Bobby Tarantino 2, which is like when Logic is more like the beats are more trap style, so like it's a different kind of production. He did Young Sinatra 4 like a couple months ago, which is cool. It's good, but it's like not what I feel like listening to all the time. But Bobby Tarantino definitely slaps, and I was listening to that for a while when it came out. It's like Logic is really smart and lyrical, but also when he gets on that kind of music, it's not just lyrical, but it's fun to actually listen to from like sonically, like the beat. It's like, yeah, I can vibe to this and enjoy the lyrics. So
Sonically.
shout out to Logic.
Gabby, number 9.
So we're moving on to number 9.
Hate his legs.
It's like aesthetically for you.
Stop it.
Once again, basic bitch list.
Gabby, don't sell yourself short.
It just is though. It's
Before
so
every name.
pop streamy, mainstream.
So
And that's
is
fine.
mine.
So my number 9 is Migos.
Oh.
Because like Walk It Like I Talk It and Stir Fry I just like them so much.
I don't even know what stir fry is.
you're not going to be impressed by it, but it's just so catchy and fun. It's a fun song on my way to work, and I really enjoyed it. That's from The Culture too. They're an album they released this year. So.
Do you like the rest of the album or just like those two
I haven't really
songs?
listened to the whole album.
All right, fair. You like what you like?
I like
this is
how-
what's on the radio, and I don't feel like I need to pursue it anymore.
I like how Gabby's is all just singles, not even like whole.
Well, no,
whole bits of
because
work.
other ones on this list are whole albums.
Okay.
But Drake is the album that he released this year. I did like Scorpion. Migos is just those two singles.
And so far, they've all been like kind of backhanded. Like, you're not gonna be impressed by it.
Yeah.
But
No,
Like Drake,
Gabby, like what you like.
I mean, I really enjoy it, but I hate that I enjoy.
Why?
I like the Migos.
What is
but
there to hate about it?
It's just Drake's such a little bitch sometimes.
But you like his music.
No,
What's
I
it
do. I
matter?
really enjoy it, but he's just at the same time like he's just a little bitch, like he is.
Oh
Like,
my gosh,
I really want to fight Drake.
I don't want to fight Drake.
We're getting real personal.
I feel like you can fight Drake though. I feel like it'd be like little to no effort.
I don't think I'd fight Drake. I'd make him cry though.
I don't know.
would,
Did you see that? What was that? The Sprite commercial?
He's
He's a
You always
robot.
got an attitude with me, and
Yeah,
I'd be
robot
like, it's
Drake
because
is
I think you're a little
Oh, no,
bitch,
no, he
Drake,
fell
and
apart.
I'd make him cry.
Yeah,
Like
good
I make
point.
him
Wow,
cry.
I think we should move on.
If he
from-
hears this, he
One
will
sip of
cry.
Sprite and he's
All
just
right,
done.
let's not. No more Drake.
We're getting personal over here, man.
This is supposed to be music you like, not people you want to fight.
For the record,
I like his music.
For the record-
I just think he's
But
a little
also,
bitch.
you know, you'd
But
punch
like
him in the face if you saw
personally,
him.
Drake's a little bitch. Like Rihanna was
Okay,
right.
we're
Like,
saying
I
it
get
like
why
10
she,
times
like,
now.
did
All right,
care.
Jimmy, what were you gonna say
So how do you
personally?
feel about Drake?
Stop it.
Just as a human being.
for the record, Drake, I've loved his music since before Degrassi, or since he was on Degrassi.
Drake, I like your music. You're just a little bitch.
Stop, Gabby.
Stop it.
Now
Gabby.
let's figure it out, Gabby. Moving on.
Moving
Jimmy,
on.
what's your number 9?
My number
just wants
9
to throw
is
hands.
a group called Ocean Park Standoff.
Okay.
I discovered their music in.
I've listened to like one or two of their singles.
Yeah, I heard their music for the first time on the radio in May on a very interestingly emotional day. And I just fell in love with that song just off of like a few seconds that I heard from it, and immediately looked up what it was, and then listened to the rest when I got home. And then I started looking into their to the EP that they released in 2017, because the song I heard was released this year, which is why they are on the list. But they are on the list for simply being awesome and for catching my attention with one song and then making me love the rest of their music. So if you have not heard Ocean Park Standoff, you should. They are awesome. And one of the members is actually DJ Samantha Ronson.
Is she related to Mark Ronson?
I don't know.
Let me look it up.
But yeah, so that's my number 9.
Okay.
Jesse, your turn.
Cool. My number 9 is Michael.
Giacchino.
At least try to say his name. You didn't
I
even
see it?
try.
What?
Can I see his name?
It's spelled Giacchino.
I love it.
And Jesse decided he wasn't even going to try.
Giacchino.
Yeah, it's
Giacchino.
Key. No, it's Key, not Chi. Key.
Yeah, that's the controversy. It's the cheat or the cook.
Oh my god.
It's not a controversy.
It is, depending who you ask.
It's really
I
not.
still don't know how to pronounce
Can you
that.
please just say why you like
Yeah, talk about.
Michael?
For his track names alone, really. I mean, that was enough to get him on the list for 2018. With such, no, first of all, I should say he did. He's a composer for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and Incredibles 2 this year, and yeah, he's got such track lists as "This Title Makes Me Jurassic"
Oh,
and
Honey Bunny.
"Together Forever and Ever"
Oh.
and "Dever" and "Dever."
I get
There's
it.
Incredibles 2.
Yes,
Consider yourself undermined.
I hate you.
it's beautiful.
Hate him. He
No,
did this.
I hate you for
Also,
bringing
though,
this to my
like-
attention.
But also the music in Incredibles 2 is great.
no, it
Also,
is.
Chill or Be Chill, the Frozone thing.
Oh, yeah, yes. Exactly.
That name and that song.
Yeah.
Ironically, fire.
Now, here's the thing. Weirdly, I loved his work in Incredibles 2 this year.
Yeah.
His work in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom was something.
However, the titles of those songs.
But the titles of the songs are so. If anyone out there is actually listening to this, go ahead and look up the track
Anyone out
listing
there is
for
actually
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. You will enjoy that more than the movie itself.
Oh no,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's all I have to say about that.
But yeah, those songs for Elastigirl, Frozone, and Mr. Incredible were all
Elastigirl.
they're amazing. I just wanted to say that so we can move on to Cole.
All right. Please don't move on me.
Oh, he also yeah, Royale.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. He's on the list.
dang. Guy got around this year.
Yes.
My number 9 is Griffin McElroy. He composed music for a podcast that I listened to called The Adventure Zone. Specifically this year was The Adventure Zone Amnesty, and it's like it's gotten to the point where like the main theme from that podcast is like, you ever have default music that gets stuck in your head? Like if you don't have something stuck in your head, you have something stuck in your head. It's that for me. Like it's really impressive because like the whole setup of Amnesty is it takes place in a really small town in the middle of nowhere, but also there's a magical world that's separate from that. And like he manages to make music that simultaneously captures like small town in the middle of nowhere and magical world with magical creatures. Like he's really good at, I don't know, getting like vibes into his music or like creating certain feelings through his music, which like that's the point of music. But I don't know, the way he does it is just really impressive. And I would highly recommend listening to not just that, but also all of the music that he's made for the Adventure Zone, which I couldn't put on this list because most of it came out last year. But like the Adventure Zone is just wildly, every arc of the story is wildly different, and he makes music for all of them and they all sound different. Each one has its own style. And so like one of them is Western, and then one of them is more like sort of sci-fi, and they all have their own distinct sound. One of them is like a fashion show, so it sounds like that. He's really good at evoking different moods with different themes.
Different themes are tight.
Any good musician should be. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dallas, number 9.
My number 9 is Lil Dicky.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Dickie.
Lil Dicky put out one song this year.
But it was amazing.
And what
Oh
song
my
was
god, that music video was amazing.
It was
Freaky
beautiful.
Friday, featuring Chris Brown. I've been a
Should
Lil
be
Dicky
my
fan
honorable
like
mention.
literally like day one when he started putting out songs on YouTube.
Same.
And
Damn.
this song, he built it up like, oh man, this is my one. Like I'm so happy that you guys are gonna see this. And like he has like the little narrative in the beginning of the video. And I haven't actually seen the movie Freaky Friday.
What?
I didn't know what was going on.
You didn't know the concept at least?
No, I know the concept. But the video starts with like, they're in a Chinese restaurant or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then,
I love how it's specifically the Lindsay Lohan one. Too.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we talked about yesterday.
Of course.
and like not only was the
knows the
concept
original.
and song amazing, but I should have put Chris Brown on my actors list. Because Chris Brown acting
he's
like Little
actually
Dicky,
great.
being Chris Brown.
I don't know. Chris
Yeah.
Brown seems like a little bitch to me.
Don't.
trying to die.
You are trying to
Oh,
die.
no, Chris Brown.
You trying to die,
I can fight him.
Jesse?
I'm not going to win, but I'll fight him. If anyone deserves to be fought, it's Chris Brown.
I guess.
Yeah.
You're trying to die, though. Don't you put that on us.
Listen, if Chris Brown can just comment on this video, he can say whatever he wants. Just comment on the video. Ooh, if he comes after me, we need to film it and put it on the channel.
World
Dallas,
star.
Dallas,
If I
please,
die-
No, I
if
think
I
we'll be
refuse.
too traumatized.
please continue,
The
Dallas.
statements of Jesse do not reflect the Reshoots as a whole.
World star.
Put that disclaimer in there.
Yeah, we'll put that disclaimer in the description.
I love how we didn't have to do that for Drake, but we are doing it for Chris Brown.
Brown is of blood and he's American.
Drake's not going to do anything.
Dallas, please.
On that note,
On that note,
yeah, Lil Dicky's amazing. That song is amazing. Chris Brown's performance in that song is amazing. And also, they got Ed Sheeran, DJ Khaled,
And Kendall Jenner
One
somehow.
of the Jenners. Yeah, it's
one
just
of
like,
the gender.
The supermodel-y one.
yeah. I think it's
And I thought they were all Kardashians until this moment.
No,
Right.
Oh, honey bunny.
Moving on.
you'd be wrong.
Oh, hi. My number 8 is Camila Cabello. And that's what I'm gonna say, 'cause
Hey.
I know Demi has her way higher on the list, if not number 1.
Yep. My number 8 is Todrick Hall, who released an album this year called Forbidden. It is also a visual album, which makes it even better. So it's like watching like an hour and a half movie. It's awesome.
Like Lemonade.
Yeah.
Todrick.
Well, this is his second one. This is literally his second
okay.
visual album. Forbidden is really good. The visual album is a really good concept. The music is also all very good, and it introduced me to one other artist who is also on my list, but I will talk about them later. But yeah, the music's really great. Some of my favorite songs are like Play, 11, Nobody. They're all just really good. Like the whole thing is just good. You should just go and listen to it and watch it because it's also really amazing to watch. Tiffany Haddish is in it. Jennifer Lewis is in it. Kiala. I never.
Look at me. Nope.
Yeah, I can never remember her last name, but she's in The Greatest Showman as the bearded lady. She's in it, and she sings on the album.
Seattle? I don't want to say Seattle.
I think that's her last name, but I don't remember.
We're not gonna call it
Similar to
guys.
Seattle.
But yeah, she is on that album, and all of it is amazing. So yeah, that is my number 8, Todrick Hall. He is awesome. His music is always awesome. His videos are always awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so this year gave me the most disappointing movie, I think, of my life. Because out of all these lists that we're doing, about to do, did, whatever, This is the first year I can think of where Star Wars movie's not going to be on any of those lists.
Really?
So I kind of felt like I had to put a Star Wars on something. But also I was listening to the soundtrack, and it does deserve it. So I'm giving number 8 to John Powell.
Who
Again,
killed that soundtrack for Solo?
Solo, a Star Wars story. It's like the one aspect of the movie that I thought was up to par. Yeah, he did that. To me, I know you love that soundtrack.
I love that soundtrack,
Lando's Closet.
Lando's Closet is so good and
You
one
told
of
me
the
you
best.
wanted to get married to that song.
No. I want to get married to all the Star Wars love themes.
Nerd.
To be fair, she only brought that up because I told her I was going to do Across the Stars at my wedding.
Oh,
Nerd.
Because my aunt and uncle got married to the Throne Room music.
dude, that's what I walked down to instead of Pomp and Circumstance when we
Married?
graduated in
okay.
college. We walked down to the throne
Oh,
room
that's
thing.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and then
Such a good
Stevenson
march.
College walks down to the Imperial March. So,
So you want to talk about, like I said,
UC Santa Cruz are a bunch of nerds.
that's why I wanted to go there. But yeah, we were talking about James Newman Howard following up in the footsteps of John Williams.
Another
I
individual.
think the Harry Potter soundtrack is iconic. To follow up in Star Wars, it's
It's even harder.
that is an unenviable job. But I think John Powell did a good job. Now, if we could just get Kevin Kline to do a Star Wars movie, I will be complete.
What else
Kevin
is Kevin
Kiner,
Kline?
not Kevin Kline. That's completely different.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
Yeah, I was going to say, Kevin Kline is definitely an actor.
I'm sorry.
What has he done?
He did the Rebels TV show, Star Wars Rebels TV show. And
got
that
it.
is hands
Got
down
it.
my favorite non-John Williams Star Wars music.
Fair.
He was perfect. But John Powell, also good.
And also nominated for a Golden Globe, I think,
But
for
not an Oscar.
the Oscar nominees have not been released yet.
they're
No,
not
but
gonna be
he's
released
not
till
ineligible
January.
because somebody screwed up somewhere and did not submit in time. They didn't submit John Powell's score.
Are you
for Solo.
serious?
Someone got fired.
Okay, so they knew the deadline for the Golden Globes,
Right.
and then they just missed it.
And
for
I
the Oscars?
guarantee you they turned in the one for Last Jedi.
I bet you
Oh
someone got fired.
no!
They can't do Last Jedi for this year.
I
It was last year.
Yes,
think they can.
Jedi
No,
was
they
last year.
can't.
No.
They can't.
Last Jedi wasn't.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking Grammy stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
Grammy.
Grammy's the ones that's all
Grammy
fucked up
deadline
because of
is
people.
such a weird
One
deadline.
thing I can guarantee.
They really
about this
should make
year's
it like all
Oscars,
the other
Solo: A
deadlines.
Star Wars Story will not be on there.
It
Which
should.
again marks the first year I think ever that a Star Wars movie has come out that it's not nominated.
It should be.
Well,
It's
nominated.
just kind of a
It's-
technicality.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
That's stupid,
Wow, I
and it
feel really
deserves
bad
a
for him. That
nomination.
sucks.
I feel bad for that guy who is now living in a box under the freeway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fired and probably blackballed
Oh,
by
yeah.
Disney. Disney destroyed his life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Colin,
We're not
number,
going to kick the Disney.
number 8.
I don't know. Disney seems like a little bitch.
Look, you can say that about Drake, but you can't say that about Chris Brown or Disney. Those
Disney.
are actual gangsters.
Disney's a big bitch.
Yeah.
That's actually that's a big dick energy right there.
Yeah, to say the least.
Boosh.
Disney, we love you. Please don't be mad at us.
We do love you, Disney.
I
We
would
do. You
not
own everything we adore.
definitely
use
love
big
Disney.
dick energy anywhere near me.
Is it love though, or is it like obligation?
No, I love
No,
Disney.
have they forced me to love them? Yes, but
Yeah,
it
I
works.
mean,
I wasn't forced to
column
love
A, column
Disney.
B.
I have no choice in this matter. I can't not love them.
That's like saying
If
you were
Ralph
forced
breaks
to
the-
love the love of your life. What the heck?
Sometimes you don't have a choice in that either. When Ralph breaks the internet, if Ralph breaks
Kinda
the
feels
internet,
like,
showed me anything, it's that I have no choice.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's definitely.
that's-
Oh my God.
But-
Colin, what's your number
We're
8?
going to probably cut this part out.
No, I want this in there.
No, I'm cutting it out. Colin, what's number 8?
Listen, when they send assassins after us, we'll be.
Marvel
regretting we
already
didn't.
has those. I'm
Assassins
afraid of what
treads
Disney's are
Mickey
like.
Ears. I'm cool with it.
No.
Colin, what's your number 8? What's your number 8, Colin?
Stop resisting.
Colin, what's your number 8? Oh my goodness. Stop it.
This is dead air, guys.
No, yes.
You're making it worse,
Colin,
Jesse.
go. What's up? What you got?
Colin broke. Colin's broke.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Goodness.
All right, trying to regain some form of composure. It's not working.
That's my list. My list has all the composers. Hey! Yeah,
You guys can't see it, but Colin just rolled his eyes
All right.
so
Cool.
hard.
Jesse is banned.
No, you knew it was bad because we all immediately stopped laughing.
Exactly. Everyone needed to stop laughing. I
We're
did
like-
that. You're welcome. Colin,
Thanks for falling on that
love
sword.
of God.
All right.
Continue
So my number 8. Yep. My number 8 is Ballyhoo They're a band that I've been listening to for a few years now. They came out with an album. Last year and an album this year. I don't know how they've managed to do that, but they're like this sort of reggae ska band, which like usually isn't my thing. But there's something about their music that like I don't know. Reggae has never really done it for me, but like theirs is upbeat enough that it's kind of got this punk vibe to it that's like real good. I am real about it. Like it feels like the perfect like beach music, which sometimes you need that. And yeah, it's like I don't listen to a lot of that kind of thing, but their albums are really fun, and I would highly recommend checking them out.
Colin, I'm liking your list so far. It's like a who's who of who.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like that's most of Colin's list, and that's why I appreciate having Colin around all the time.
It's gonna be like when we do the actors list. This will be the Me's department.
Yeah, it's gonna be like who you haven't heard of them, but in 5 years they're gonna be really, really big.
Yeah, it's gonna be like they were in this indie film that premiered in.
Show.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at my actors list right now, and literally, you guys know every single
It's an
person.
indie film that premiered in one theater in LA.
Lily James was in the film, but that's not who we're talking about right now.
Right.
Literally,
It was a
everybody.
background actor who made a face,
Guys,
and to me was like, "Ooh, that
Okay,
face though."
Guys, one, the actors list has already come out. 2, you guys know everybody on my list.
We know them, but we don't know.
No. You guys literally know every person on my list except maybe one person.
We've seen them, but we haven't seen them.
Jesus Christ.
Seen of them.
Dallas, number 7,
Dallas,
please.
you're
Or number 8.
seven?
He's
Or
number
you're
8.
whatever.
Dallas, you do you. Whatever number you want to go to next,
8.
we'll support
Number Ocho.
Kendrick Lamar.
Don't talk about him because I have him higher on my list.
Yep.
Okay, so my number 7, we're on number 7 now, is Beyonce, not for the album she put out, but for that concert tour that she did, the arena tour.
On the Run or
The On the Run 2 tour. Jay-Z.
So you're not putting him on the list?
No, hell nah. His parts, I was like, you know what?
Jesus
I'm gonna.
Christ,
okay,
man.
so here's what happened. The Rose Bowl has amazing amenities, and my friend and I got tickets up in the box area, and there was a full buffet. So when Jay-Z was on, I would just go get more food.
Wow. So what about because that album
'Cause his stuff
was a
was
lot of them
mostly-
together. So how do you?
But so most of the On the Run tour wasn't that album. They only had one song from the album, I think.
What?
Either that or like the other stuff was just like Jay-Z, or I didn't really listen to the album, to be honest. And I only recognized the one song from the album, and they didn't do that till the very end. Everything else was stuff from Jay-Z's 444 or everything from Beyonce's catalogs.
Oh, okay.
And the costumes were amazing from Beyonce, because like I said, Jay-Z would come out dressed in like a suit or dressed in like sweats and jeans. So it was just like, this isn't visually appealing. What like Jay-Z's performances were like, he's at a microphone rapping. Cool. Beyonce would come out and there'd be like lights and like fireworks.
She put more effort into
like,
it?
She was. It was just so much better
just
to watch
summed up
her.
Jay-Z and
So
Beyonce's
like Jay-Z was
relationship.
just kind of like, well, I guess Beyonce's getting dressed right now into a new costume, so Jay-Z has to be here. And they put
Damn.
up like these. It just wasn't as good.
This just in. Gabby wants to throw hands with like half of her
Would
list.
you say, in your opinion, that Jay-Z is a little...
No, he's
bitch?
not. He's a flawed
Guys.
human. But I wouldn't call him a little bitch.
It was good enough.
But like
That's
what
the
I'm
one.
saying
We
is
got one,
I went
guys.
to this concert for Beyonce, not for that man. And she delivered. It was amazing. It was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I've seen her like live. That's my second concert of hers that I've been to, and it was worth the money that I actually, it was worth just the money I put out. The pre-show had like 10 acts. They're all super famous people. And I was like,
She
wow.
basically threw her own version of Coachella. Like
She throws a mini Coachella the half hour before her show. It's always like Big Sean, Remy Ma, like Big Joe Fat Joe comes out. Not Big Joe, Fat Joe. Ella May came out like to sing My Boo.
Both.
Or my boo, boot up to sing boot up. Sorry, my boo is
Ella
a
Mai.
different song. Yeah, Ella May came out to
totally
sing
says it
boot
there.
up. Like there's like 10 acts in this 30-minute span before she comes out, and you're like, holy moly, this is worth my ticket already.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Holy moly,
sweet
Batman.
and innocent.
I didn't even curse. I was just like, wow. And then
Gee, wow,
because
guys.
the Rose Bowl amenities are amazing, I had like a full plate of food and a hot dog. And I was just like, this is great.
Is a hot dog not food?
Well, it's like
definitely.
stadium food. I'm talking
I see what you're
we had
saying.
like a
I see what you're
catered
saying.
dinner. And then they were also serving hot dogs. And I was like, this place is amazing. Anyway.
And we live so close.
Yeah, and I lived we walked to my house from that.
That's actually
So
the best part about living so
was-
close to the
yeah,
Rose Bowl.
It was great.
Getting to
Like
walk.
I didn't have to get an Uber. It was amazing. So Beyonce's part in the On the Run 2 tour was great.
And that's her number 7.
All
That's
right,
my number
seven is half an act. Cool.
Yeah.
She did most
Beyonce is a whole act.
I'm
Like,
sorry. She did most of it. Like I'm pretty sure Jay-Z would only come out because Beyonce's like, look, it
need
takes
to
5 minutes
pull
to
your
get
weight in
into
this
this.
relationship.
No. It's like it takes me 5 minutes to get into this complicated dress, so I need time. So go out there and sing is basically.
Go out there and rap something.
Yeah, go out there and rap. Like
All right.
it was great.
My number 7 is Panic at the Disco.
Hey.
all right, I can respect
Is that
that.
on anybody else's list?
No.
I thought about it, but ever since it became a one-man band, I've just
Ooh.
been less interested.
So,
See, I'm not the only one throwing shade.
okay. So I chose Panic at the Disco because I've never actually been that interested in Panic at the Disco until I heard Hey Look Ma, I Made It. Freaking
that song is
love
great.
That song, it's
Why
my
do they always
favorite
have
song.
the longest song title?
No,
Because
that's
it's-
Fall Out Boy.
That's Fall Out Boy.
Also, Panic at the Disco started taming it down after the first album.
Okay, because
It's like,
don't
that's
they
the
have a
one with
song
Ryan gets the
called
most
like
songs
I
ever.
Write Sins, Not Tragedies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've always loved I Write Sins, Not
Fall
Tragedies.
Out Boy has long time.
But like, I freaking
They've toned it down too,
love
but they
Hey Look
used to.
Ma, I Made It. I think it's Say Amen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Saturday.
got like
It's got a parentheses in
something.
there. High Hopes. Oh my gosh, so good. But yeah, Panic at the Disco, freaking awesome. It's been a good year. I think High Hopes is the highest charting song that Panic has had in their entire career. Or well, now it's just Brendan.
That
So in his-
personally upsets me, but
career.
okay.
yeah, because I write since not tragedies.
I mean, not even that one. Like, the first 3 albums, I feel like were super good, and then it became just Brendan, and it's like, this is still good, but it's not the same.
But I miss
I freaking love Brendan, so that's all that matters to me. So yeah, that's my number 7.
Jesse.
Sweet. My number 7 is a combo. It's Daniel Davies and John Carpenter, who worked together on the Halloween soundtrack this year. Yeah. Carpenter really just came in to do the themes. He gave us the updated Halloween theme, and he gave us Laurie's theme, which was badass. Even though, again, laziest paycheck ever made. It's just the Halloween theme in reverse.
Nice.
But
is?
it works so well in the movie to be Laurie's theme.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It comes into the movie at perfect points. And everything else that Daniel Davies did is great. I know you and I, Dallas, had our complaints about the movie and how silly it would get sometimes.
Yeah.
But in the parts where it wasn't silly, a lot of that had to do with Daniel Davies' score. Or almost lack thereof, because I've watched the movie since trying to listen to the score, and there's a lot of like...
Yeah.
And it works really well when it's just like Michael walking down the street.
Yeah.
You know, and they're
Just
not playing the
scared.
Halloween theme. It's just like scariness.
I feel it.
I like it a lot. I think the music did a lot to make that movie. To make me love the parts of the movie I loved as much as I loved them. Yeah. Kellen. How you feel about Halloween as a concept?
The holiday or the movie?
Yes.
Colin, what's your number 7, please?
Fine, man, ask me a question. Doesn't need an answer.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
want you to talk.
yeah.
Let the man speak to me.
I want him to speak on topic.
My number 7 is Years and Years. They're a pop band, I guess. Yeah. Who came out with an album called Palo Santo this year. Album is real good and it's real gay and I'm about it. And like it had this whole, I guess there was kind of a visual component to it that was about like androids or something that I didn't really understand. But like also I didn't really get where that was going. I can't because I honestly don't understand. Like
You just have to watch it.
you want me to talk about androids?
didn't
Give me
get
a
it,
second.
Jesse.
But like I didn't
That'll be on
understand
the
it.
next list.
No. That's the next artist on this list. But anyway, the main singer, Ollie Alexander, like his dancing is real good. Like the things he can do with his body are surprising because he's built like a twig.
Hell yeah.
But like,
Actually, no, I've found that people who are built like twigs have.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, that album is real good and
Yeah,
his
but it
voice is real
moves like half
good.
as good.
I mean, were you a gymnast before that? Like, I don't remember you doing some major feats of
I was in
acrobatics.
that one tree.
You were always
You
in
could
that
climb
one
a
tree.
tree?
So you learned to climb
Yeah.
a specific
Yeah,
tree.
yeah, it was a good tree.
Okay. So Jesse can climb a tree.
Not anymore.
Just
'cause we
one
got-
tree.
Anyway, yeah.
Not
Years and
another.
years, their music is real good and it's pretty gay and I'm about it. And if nothing else, you should watch their videos just to watch the main singer dance. Like his moves are real good. Like dude is, I'm pretty sure he's like trained in some form because he can move.
So when you say it's gay, like they're just singing about homosexual things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, but not,
The way you said it.
yeah, I mean, it's,
Homosexual things.
but that's rare that you find it in a
Homosexuals
not
and homosexuals.
subtle fashion.
That's true. Yeah. The fact that
I missed it.
the fact that
Accessory
Halsey,
dancers. Damn it.
you guys are loud. The fact that Halsey does it is always a shock to people
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though she's, bi.
Take note of it
very
when it
openly.
comes up because it doesn't come up that often. You
Yeah.
get weird things like I think my favorite is Michael Bublé's like Santa Buddy, where he tried so hard not to make it gay that it's like laughable. You get
Santa
stuff like
Buddy?
that.
What?
So it's nice when it goes the other direction.
Dallas,
Oh.
number 7.
Eminem.
Hey.
So, what I was gonna say about Kendrick Lamar that I guess I'll say later when we get to him
Yeah.
is that it's basically about what he did for Black Panther
Yeah.
as a movie, and
That's what mine is too.
I figured. And Eminem, to a much lesser extent, obviously this was just one song, did that with Venom because like I heard the song before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
And I love that song. And it's just like it gives me that it's like that energy that like I get when I'm watching Venom just destroy a bunch of people. And that all aside, Eminem's album was really good. And it's a follow-up to an album that pretty much everyone hated. And myself, I was like, yeah, that album was whatever. But like this one came out and he was like back on it. And I was like, we knew you could do this. And I'm glad that you showed us that you can do this again.
What
Also,
is
I like that
it?
it was like a surprise album, wasn't it? So he just like kind of casually.
Yeah, it
Out
was.
of nowhere.
And I like that because it was like here, like just, here, take it.
Yeah.
And it's just like
So like when you say that the last album was generally panned and like this album was like a return to form, is it the subject matter? Is it the music of it? Like what made the last album not great that makes this one good?
I feel like, and to be fair, I don't remember a whole lot about the last album.
It's probably because we sucked.
It's like,
I love all of the shade.
I mean, the same thing happened with Relapse and
Supposed
So
to be
much.
a list of
Yeah,
love
Relapse and
guys.
Recovery.
yeah, the same thing happened with Relapse and
I know
Recovery.
we're being real shady.
it's about
but-
kind of like the direction that he goes in it. And, fandoms are toxic. And Eminem fans are particularly like, we want you to do exactly what we want when we want it. So we don't want you to go in a new
lose yourself in the
direction.
music.
And so
Never let it go.
the last album, he kind of went in a different direction I guess people are used to. And they were like, I'm not really feeling this. You're too, it was like, he was doing songs with like Beyonce and people
So it was
who were
too
like,
poppy.
people
for
felt
them.
like it's too poppy. And I'm like, like these are great artists that he's working with. I don't know why you guys are mad. But, now it's more to like, he's rapping like he's angry. And it's like,
I think that's-
everybody loves that. But I just think he's rapping better. Like his songs are better this time around, which I think is dope.
And we got some rap beefs out of it.
And it's just like he's one of the things that, is probably why he's so controversial is that he's the type to, if you say anything about him,
He'll snap
you're
back.
going to get a response. And it's just like,
So we're not going to talk shit on
not-
Eminem right
Eminem's
now.
a perfectly lovely
we're not going
Seems like a
to,
nice guy.
We're also
Not
not going to
opposed.
make comments about his daughter because that will also get
Yeah.
you shot.
we don't want to end up like MGK.
What happened?
The rap devil.
Wait,
it's
what
a, it's a
happened?
story.
I want to hear it.
That's why
when
the
we're done
beef
here.
with
Like, he just
MGK
said that
and
his daughter was hot.
Oh.
And Eminem is doing a protective
father.
Detroit father thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't talk about my daughter.
There's a difference between doing the protective father thing and going to the effort to write a whole song,
To be-
record a whole
to
song.
be fair, this was
like, that
also-
was the effort.
MGK also said this on Twitter years ago when his
Like,
daughter
I'm
was
not
still underage.
taking a side. I'm just saying, like, the effort of, like, I'm not going to tweet something or just say a statement. I'm going to make a whole song
No,
and get people to record it and, like,
No, he didn't.
He made a line.
And then in the song, he referenced MGK.
ah.
MGK made a song responding to that.
Well, that's what it
song,
was.
And Eminem
Okay.
made a song going back and forth. So,
But, like, both of them, they just wanted to take the time to write entire songs and,
If
like,
that's what you know you're good at and you want
rappers.
That's what rappers
Back at
do.
somebody.
What rappers do.
They
Yeah.
have to put their feelings on the paper,
Yeah.
Colin.
Yeah, otherwise they'll start fighting each other.
This
I
is,
just feel like I wouldn't want to
are you sure we don't
immortalize
want
that conflict
but
in a
that's
song.
That's what hip hop is.
Yeah.
Like that's
not what
part
it
of-
has to be.
But that's
Doesn't
part of
matter what
it.
It has to be like that's what it's been for decades.
It's
Like,
been since hip hop was created. Like
yeah, it's always been an outlet of I can fight you on the street right now,
Or
we
I
settle
can
this
just
on a
like
record.
clown
like,
you.
that's why No Vaseline is still one of the best like
Yeah.
rap disses ever.
No Vaseline? What?
Yeah, and nobody got shot. We'll give you the history lesson later. Guys.
Yes,
But
please.
also, it's just like the whole album, not the whole album, but like a lot of the album is, you said something about me, you said something about me, you said something about me. So I'm going to go down my list right now.
It was like he had an aria list from Game of Thrones and just went in.
I love all the memes that spawned out of that. It was like the one rapper Eminem was too afraid to diss, and it's like that guy from like that church who tried to rap to his congregation. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh God.
But yeah, so it's just like, it was a good return to form, and it was a nice reminder because everyone's like, oh, Eminem can't do it anymore. It's like, yes, he
Yes,
can.
he can. He's
Yes, he
just
can.
phoning it in sometimes. It's fine, guys.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying you phoned it in. But also, Mr.
Fine,
Mr.
Gabby.
Mathers. Mr.
Gabby
Mathers.
did not reflect.
All right, Gabby. No,
Great, Marshall.
no, number 6, Gabby.
No. Before we do that, because this got away from me, but I wanted to talk about the Venom song because I did hear that song also before the movie came out. And I remember listening, going, "The hell is this?"
A lot of
You
people
don't
did.
put this in a super. But the thing is, though, what Venom was before everybody saw it is completely different from what the movie Venom was after you saw it. Because before you saw it, it was like, we all have our own.
Oh, yeah. Like how it was marketed.
Right, and so like you take that trailer and then that song, and
You're like, what is
does not
going
compute.
on?
Yeah.
But then you watch the movie and you realize, oh no, this is the movie.
Yeah.
You listen to the song, you're like, that's the movie. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
insane.
people who hate both, and I love both. And it's like...
The funny thing is, I like the song and don't like the movie.
Yeah, people who like
Yeah.
And I'm completely the other way. I love the movie. I can't stand the song.
I love
Yeah,
the
so it's
song.
like you have a little bit of everything.
I like
Yeah.
both.
That's what happens when you just like take a lot of drugs and decide to write a movie/song. It'd be fun.
I don't think he writes... I don't think he does drugs anymore.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
he
I'm
does
sorry.
drugs
I don't
anymore.
mean to imply that the great Eminem.
You didn't imply. You just stated.
Sorry,
No,
Mr.
he used to do all the
Mathers.
drugs. But, there's a whole...
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he talked
So
all about it.
before Eminem comes after us, Gabby, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is we love you, Marshall. Mr. Mathers. We love you, Mr. Mathers.
Mr. Eminem, sir.
Mathers.
Mr. Eminem.
Number 6.
Okay, my number 6. Wow, we're already number 6. That was fast. It's been 45 minutes actually. Never mind.
Good
Struggling to
So
get
my
here.
number 6 is John Legend because of his Christmas album, which is a delight.
Guys, I'm gonna change mine to Peter B. Parker. Put him
go
on
for
the
it.
list.
Okay,
Have you listened to it?
Basically,
Yeah, we listened to it here.
I haven't really been into Christmas that much lately, but my housemate is super into Christmas, and she kind of like lifted my spirits this year. And she started playing this John Legend album, and I don't usually like Christmas albums. I think they're a cop out, but I love this album because you could tell he put in work. They're beautiful like jazz versions of Christmas songs, and there's some original songs in there, and just what he did with the song Silver Bells. I usually think that song's just like a boring white guy song, but no, John Legend made it like a beautiful jazz, like, yeah, it's just boring. He made it this beautiful jazz number, and he's just, you know what, he's a great like musical artist.
He also had a
I love
Christmas
his
special.
wife.
Yeah, with
I didn't see the Christmas special.
had a Christmas special with the
I
wifey.
have only heard this album. And
Wasn't he
it's a
also in
delight.
Jesus Christ Superstar this year?
Yes,
Yeah,
he was.
that's what got him his EGOT.
Right.
The Jesus Christ Superstar. Anyway, I highly recommend that album. It's beautiful. It's well done. You could tell he put in the work, and he also had a tour that accompanied it. So, John Legend.
dope.
That's the first one I didn't hate on.
It is.
The whole concept of Christmas albums. So.
You attacked
Damn it!
the
I
Holy Spirit
attacked
itself.
some-
She did not attack the
but
artist
I did
though, so it's a
attack the
step
artist,
up.
though.
So normally, bah humbug. But John Legend, though.
Exactly.
To be fair, she also didn't attack Beyonce. She attacked her husband.
Yeah,
so
I did. I mean, which
You just
makes
have to have-
Beyonce hate me.
She's
You have
They have
something to
some
attack
shade.
in every...
Yeah.
in-
Can we not
Gabby
point out
cannot
how much of
just
a
be-
hater
You're
I
Not
am?
so much of a hater.
I'm not
Gabby, be
trying
better.
to be.
but you are though.
But I am.
But you
apparently.
are.
I brought the haterade.
You
today.
did. Jesus. Drink some more water. Oh, dilute that shit.
So
Drink some
this-
eggnog,
I'm
for the
gonna
love of
have
God.
some.
Go ahead. So number 6 on my list is my first ever celebrity crush, Mr. Justin Timberlake.
Was Man of the Woods this year?
Yes, it was. It's been a very long
That
year.
feels so long.
It's been a
18
long
has been
year.
so long. There was an Olympics and you forgot about it.
I did. Well, that was at the beginning of the year.
Doesn't matter.
So
you
was
still
this
forgot.
album. This album came out in like February.
Oh man.
Justin Timberlake is on my list because one, I love Justin Timberlake. I really liked his album. It's different from his other albums. Some of it sounds like his old stuff, and then some of it is like really weird new Americana type of stuff. But I really enjoyed it. I love Supplies. There's a song called Midnight Summer's Jam that's also really good on that album, and I love that. That sounds like his old stuff, and so does this song called Breeze Off the Pond, which is also a really, really good track. But yes, I enjoyed his album, and I just love him, and one day I will see him in concert. I just don't have the money to do it now. So yeah, that's my number 6, Mr. Justin Timberlake.
My number 6 is another artist who put out a Christmas album this year, Spider-Man.
Okay, but like, how does that work? Because there are like 5 artists
He did
on
that last
album.
year too,
I'm going
remember?
with the Spider-Man one.
With
The-
what?
was Jingle
Favorite
Bells,
movies.
Spider.
Oh, so that specific song?
No, I'm kidding. I'm going with actually I did not realize I put 2 horror composers back to back. So I'm going Colin Stetson, who did the soundtrack for Hereditary. I want to talk about a man who did his job. Ooh, boy. His job. I think he got hired to like, listen, we just need you to make
The
everybody
creepiest.
as uncomfortable as possible with noise. And he was like, I'm on it. And he
He's
did.
like, hold my beer.
Really, he was like, hold my severed child's head.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh.
And
Jesus Christ.
I can't even like,
And like the
remember
creepy
really
floaty
what
lit,
it was just like
lady in the corner.
the entire soundtrack was just ambiance, but it was just like horror.
Just like the
Yeah.
right creepy.
It was distilled
Vocalized
fear.
horror. Yeah, that's what it was. He somehow just found what hell sounds like and played that in the movie.
Oh, can I tell you a scary story about Santa Cruz or
Yes,
like a
do it
creepy
right now
thing?
while we're recording this.
I mean, it
podcast.
just like the fact that you said it was ambiance.
Okay.
Did you guys know that giant trees creak in the wind like?
Did you know
creaky
non-giant
staircases?
trees do that too?
No, well, okay. I didn't know that when I was walking through the forest at 3 a.m. on a windy day once.
Okay,
It was just
okay. Here's the problem.
You
The
were
creaky
walking-
trees are not the problem. You willingly choosing to walk through a forest
At
3 in the
3 a.m.
morning
Okay,
is
I was
the problem.
going to my boyfriend's house and I
Yeah,
had to
see,
walk
At
through the
3
forest.
in the morning,
I
yup.
had to walk through the forest because UC Santa Cruz is literally
See,
in
the
middle
fact
of
that
a
you just
forest.
said on a podcast that you were going to your boyfriend's house at 3 a.m.
Right.
tells the audience exactly what you were up to.
You are a horror movie character.
I should have died that night.
You probably heard Colin Stetson's soundtrack in your head. That's
I
what that
did
was.
because
It
those
wasn't
trees.
actual. It wasn't the trees.
The trees
It was
were
Colin Stetson.
creaking.
It was the
I
sound.
was in the corner going.
I'm really confident that Gabby heard the trees and was like, hello?
Is somebody there?
I didn't. I ran for it. I was like, I'm running.
Well, at least she ran.
I did run.
Did you then trip over a tree root and
No.
stop to look back?
because
and
there was a path. It was just
Okay.
a path through the forest. It was like a cement path.
See a bunch of mannequins.
No, but there were some raccoons on the way. There was a raccoon that was taking a bath in a fountain, and I was like, "What? Where am I?"
Demons take many forms.
And he like saw me, and he was like, "Oh," like he looked embarrassed.
It's funny because I'm picturing. I know what a raccoon sounds like when it's pissed. I'm just picturing that adding to the demonic like ambiance of the day. Like,
Anyway, that was like the scariest non-human situation I've ever been in with like
Alright.
the creaking trees. in the
Solid.
forest.
But well, no. Does Jesse have anything more to say about this?
no, that was
composer?
pretty much summed it up. Yeah, it was just. Well, that's the thing is, I can't actually remember the score that well. I just remember it getting under my skin. Because there's that scene towards the end. I'm looking at Dallas because he's the only other person who.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
And
Never.
the scene where he's just walking through the house, and you hear like. I know there is music playing during the
Oh, God.
scene.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some kind of music that goes to that beat, and it's just
hate it.
horrifying. See, like for the Halloween one, I was like, "This is a really awesome, cool score for a horror movie." For Hereditary, I was just like,
Yeah.
so,
Same.
so Colin,
Colin.
take it away.
Number 6.
Pick it up from there.
All right, so
Ooh. Getting ready.
I'm gonna fight you.
I feel like
do
it
it
is
with
going to
Dallas.
be a who. It's going to be like, I've never heard of this.
Fuck y'all. My number 6 is Janelle Monáe.
The one person we're gonna know on your list.
And we gave
That's
you
the
shit
one.
right
All right,
before
fine, just carry over
I'm
my
so
food to number
glad.
5.
Yeah,
Get rollover who's.
you do today.
Janelle Monáe up for album of the year.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, Dirty Computer is such a fun album.
Great
Like-
visuals too.
Yeah, the visual album is gorgeous. Like, she looks good. Tessa Thompson looks ridiculous
God.
in
Preach.
that.
yes.
And like, I don't know, that album is
friends with
just so enjoyable to listen to, like all the way through. And like, she goes hard on some of the tracks. Like Django Jane is
Oh my gosh, Django Jane is my favorite.
amazing. And like, it's a little weird because it kind of is a departure from her previous stuff. Like, she's not doing all the Android stuff on this one, but that's okay. Like, instead she's
It's in the
doing like
visuals.
police brutality and racism and like, yeah.
Stop resisting.
I hate you
Like,
so
I think the last song on the album has like a preacher just like yelling about inequality for like half the song, and it's great.
Also-
Like, she's just so talented and unique in pretty much everything she does. And that album is no exception.
I really like Screwed too with
Ooh,
Zoe
yeah.
Kravitz.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. But also, I could not even tell that was Zoe Kravitz singing. I thought it was just Janelle the whole time until I re-listened to it. So
Also, like, just everything about her, her outfits, her dancing, like, she just feels so unique in a way that I feel like not a lot of artists do to me. Also, like, she basically, I mean, she was working with Prince, but then she like actually channeled his spirit on a couple of the songs. I feel like
I think a few of those songs are actually
will make me feel like the beat for that he made. that
yeah.
beat.
some
So
of
that
those
makes sense.
Were from Prince.
But like, yeah, she just navigates through different genres. Like, she does rap, she does funk, she does pop, and all of it works real well.
She is dope. And she's a phenomenal actress on top of all
That
that.
too, and she owns a
she's
record
great.
label. Like,
Damn, she's doing it all.
yeah,
Janelle is on it. Dallas number 6.
David Dix.
A
Yo, that's higher up on my
Anybody
list.
skip it?
So we about to
skip.
skip it.
We have made it to the top 5, guys.
hot damn.
Hey.
Okay.
Started from the bottom.
Yes.
And now we're here.
Oh.
He hates Drake.
Oh.
though. Make sure he-
I love that song.
Of course you do.
She might like fight you as a stand-in for him.
And I enjoy his music.
Good
though.
practice with
Who's
Chris
your number
Brown.
5?
Okay, so so I didn't get the thing with SoundCloud rappers. I think that's just showing my age. But
Yeah, get
XXX Tentacion has been on the radio.
Tentacion.
XXX Tentacion, that's his name. He passed away in June. He was murdered.
I'm sorry. So
But his music is so great. I was listening to his album, which it's literally like a question mark is the name of the album.
Wait, like just the symbol?
Just the symbol.
Oh,
And
how
I
do you
believe
how do you talk about it?
Question mark.
have, you
question
heard,
mark.
have you heard that album?
Have you heard that album?
Sad and Moonlight on it. I mean, those are the singles, I think, but freaking
Are
Moonlight.
they called Santa Moonlight or is
Like-
it just like a sad face and a moon?
They're called Sad and Moonlight. There's a song Sad. There's
It'd have to be a
Moonlight.
moon in that.
I wonder
Like,
when we're gonna
it's
get to the
like-
point where there's an album where every title is just an emoji.
I'm sure people have tried it, and the record company's like, no, you can't do this.
My favorite song of that album is
Stop it. Anyway, I really like Moonlight. That song speaks to me. I don't know how, but I really like XXX Tentacion. I don't know if anybody else. Probably you guys don't have him on your list.
definitely not.
No.
Nah.
I
And,
think that-
rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
I think he also was a woman beater, though.
You got a lot of those on your list.
Damn it. Do I? Is it just Drake? Literally just Drake.
Drake is not a woman beater.
Oh, he's not. Then
You did the song with
nobody.
Lil Dicky.
There it is.
Wait, yeah, but did you not know that about him?
No, I didn't.
That makes sense. I figured you didn't.
Oh well.
Surprise.
But I still like that song Moonlight.
You know what's not a bad idea though? Using emojis as like inspirations for a song. Like that could be a cool inspiration for an album.
You tried that with the movie. Look what happened.
No,
Yeah, that's different.
Demi. Number 5.
My number 5 is probably my actual favorite artist of all time, Christina Aguilera. I love her voice. I love everything about her. She is awesome. And she also releases an album only like every 4 years, except for one time where she gave us a 2-year gap. But it's been 4 years since the last one. This
Didn't
year
she have a kid somewhere in there?
she has 2 kids, Max and Summer. But she released an album this year called Liberation. last year, called Liberation. And a few of my favorite songs on that are Maria, Sick of Sittin',
Where's Maria?
Fall in Line, which features Demi Lovato, which is nominated for a Grammy, and it's a great, great song. And she has a song called Pipe, which is very, yeah. And then
Pipe?
it's called Pipe.
What's that about?
Like,
She wants you to lay the pipe down.
Okay, that's what I thought.
all right.
And then she also, my favorite song on the album is called Masochist, and it's a really beautiful song, and I love it.
Sounds like she has a theme going. And I respect
Have
it.
you seen the Not Myself Tonight video?
No, I have not.
Hashtag not myself.
Yeah.
Not my Jesus.
Can you play that one in the background?
Learn to talk, my
I
guy.
play the Not Myself
Been
Tonight.
trying for years.
Not Myself Tonight video. But yeah, Liberation is a really good album. It is not her best, but it's a really good album.
Is there a video for Pipe?
There is not a video for Pipe.
All right, just asking.
Yeah.
Is Pipe about what I'm thinking it's about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's-
Okay, cool.
I was sitting next to you when she
Cool,
said
cool,
it.
I was lost in thought.
Yeah, I was miles away.
But yeah, number 5, Christina Aguilera. Thank you for being amazing and for giving us the anthem that is beautiful.
What were we just watching recently where somebody was like talking about a girl like, man, did you see those pipes? And we're confused as to what that meant.
That was Love Actually.
Love
Was it
Actually.
Love Actually?
Yeah.
Still don't know what that meant.
feel like
We're
it's
assuming
like a
legs.
different-
Wait, did you see those pipes?
Yeah, I was like, check out that girl's
Because I
pipes.
think of
Something
it in
along
terms
those
of like
lines.
vocal, you know? But like,
No.
No, he said look.
Did you see what?
That was definitely something like
What?
physically attractive about it.
What
Exactly.
on the-
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know.
it is a mystery.
I don't know, man.
What's your number 5, Jesse?
Yep, this song's definitely about penises.
What song?
Number
Pipe. What's number 5?
That makes sense.
A very specific one.
Number 5 is Daniel Pemberton. AKA,
Hey!
yeah, you know who he is.
I know him.
Only Dallas.
Cool, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm not
He's a composer of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, which is a really cool soundtrack.
It is really good. Yeah.
Very different sounding. It's not your typical superhero soundtrack. Although it does still sound very superhero-y when it needs to, which is cool.
And there are 44 songs on it.
And they were
Dang,
a lot of
really?
songs in it, Yeah.
That's 44 songs.
Easiest paycheck you ever made. We need you to come in and score 20 minutes of this film. On it.
44 songs.
But yeah, I loved everything about that movie, including the music.
Yeah.
Which we did not talk about in the review. You can find the review on our channel at the Reshoots on YouTube.
Yep.
The same channel that
they're
you're watching
already
that's
on.
on.
So like,
All right, now. Yeah, and then just type in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and it should pop up. And you'll see us as Spider People.
or you could just look at our videos and watch all of them, and that will be one of them that you watch.
We'll put a link in the description below.
Daniel Pemberton is dope.
Yeah.
He also did King Arthur last year, and that was fun. I like that.
I love
Oh, the music in that was, yeah.
The music was great.
that movie.
I also really
Still
like
need
that
to watch
movie.
that movie.
It was on my
It's
top
fun.
10 list.
All right.
You'll have fun.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It's not as ridiculous as
Is
Robin Hood from what I can see.
The new one out already?
Yes,
Well,
it is.
that came and went. Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
That was the biggest box office flop of the year, actually.
Really?
Mhm.
Ugh,
It only made
Shame.
like 9 million
King
first
Arthur at
weekend.
least looked
$9
like, stylish or something,
million?
but Robin Hood just looks.
Well, that's because King Arthur is Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
ugh.
Number 5, Colin.
Number 5 is alive.
My number 5 is. Oh yeah, cool. My number 5 is Ninja Sex Party.
Oh my God.
I know.
Sorry. You heard
I love their name so much.
Of course you have that.
Like,
That's like the Sex Pistols, but like more ridiculous.
yeah, and that's kind of the point. Like their album,
I think Gabby was just telling us a story about this.
yeah, pretty much. It's like it's really interesting because their album is it's basically a comedy album. Like every song is just it's funny, but also just the music itself really good. Like I don't know how they managed to have a song about like a kraken that is actually just a really fun song to listen to. Like their music is vulgar and crude and really silly, but if you actually sit down and listen to it, like it's a really fun time. Like you could dance to it. It's weird, but I would highly recommend their album Cool Patrol. Like I'm not really a big fan of their other stuff, but that album just like all the way through is consistently like it's got some jams on it, and also you'll be laughing most of the
There's
time.
some bangers on the Ninja Sex
Yeah.
Party.
Also, I've met one of the members of the band, and he was really nice for the like 2 minutes I talked to him at work.
Sweet.
Oh, you recognize it? Was he excited when someone?
Well, I saw him come in, right, and he was like I thought I recognized him, but I wasn't sure. And then like he needed to give me his name for something, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's totally Danny Sexbang, and this is awesome.
Danny Sexbang.
Yeah.
That's the name he gave you?
Well, no, but that's like his performance name.
Disappointing.
His pseudonym.
Like his membership is under 10.
You know.
Yeah, didn't say.
All right.
Dallas, number 5.
Rafael Casal.
Hey! Hey.
Oh, so you
that's
split
higher
them
up
up.
on my list.
Yep, I did split them up.
Poor Dallas hasn't been able to talk.
It's okay. I really want this to go by fast.
Where did I put my list?
Oh
there
my
it
gosh,
is.
stop
Sorry,
leaving the
I
list.
Lost it. Okay. Actually, my number 4 is.
We're on number, yeah.
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 I can't believe we're on 4.
My number 4 is Raf Cassell and David. Did anybody else have it up higher on their
No,
list?
you were the last person we were waiting on so that we could talk about him.
Let's
Waiting
talk
on you.
about these EPs.
Hey.
Blind spotting.
Okay, Blind Spotting. I finally saw the movie and it was amazing.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah, so Blind Spotting.
Wait, this whole time you hadn't seen the movie?
She hadn't.
I saw it in November. Or I saw it basically when it was at the Regency.
So Blind Spotting, what's like the best movie of this year, they released 2 EPs to go with the movie.
Yeah.
The first one being the Colin EP, and then they just hit us in the past like month
On the 16th.
with
Miles.
the Miles EP. 2 very different sounding EPs, but both done by David Diggs and Rafael Casal.
Close personal friend of the show, Raphael.
He tweeted at us one time, but now we're friends.
Yeah,
His tweet was so.
he
You
liked.
could tell he
It
watched our
wasn't just
video.
like, hey, look at these guys that shouted me out. It was like,
It was like, these guys watched my video, or like, these guys watched my movie, and
this
then
is
had
the
a...
This is the kind
discussion
of discussion
that I
that
want to
I
be
really
part
like. I
of.
wish I
So,
could've
Raphael Cassell, you're invited.
Thanks.
David,
For being our
bring him
friend.
with you.
Yeah,
Yes, please bring David. I've been a fan of David's because of Hamilton,
Yeah.
and he's so great
I mean,
in
that's where
Hamilton.
everybody knows David from.
Well, yeah, that's where you got the big name.
His songs are also the only
And,
ones that
the Get Down?
because I can't.
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
he raps really fast.
Oh, okay.
I think he learned how to rap fast from Raf because Raf, I didn't think anybody could be faster than David or what's his name, Watsky, and Raf just freaking
Or Eminem.
holy moly.
What
really good.
What are you guys' favorite songs? One from each EP.
Go.
I think I like Dope from the Miles EP.
I think I also, from the Miles EP, Joe, I know you said one, but also Regulators.
and then,
I do love Regulators though.
And then
oh,
from-
that's the song you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Regulators, like the old song, and I was like, I'm not gonna listen to that song.
No,
Like, didn't you?
we were talking about the Blind Spotting one.
For Colin, it's tough because his own EP has 2 different feels to it.
Yeah.
Something like Something in the Water, which has a different feel than like
Yeah.
Easy Come, Easy Go.
Yeah.
or like In My
Easy
City or
Come,
something
Easy Go might be my favorite. Oh, not the Chopped. Damn it.
like that. Yeah.
and In My City. Those are my favorite.
I think Not a Game is my favorite from
Not a Game.
from Collins, and I think my favorite one from the Miles EP is Time and Distance, which you can no longer find on any of the streaming services.
So they took it off.
Why?
They had a copyright issue because the record label didn't get the sample approved ahead of time.
It's very sad.
But Time and Distance featuring Samaria was amazing, and it's so good, and I love that song. But I managed to download it before they took it off all the streaming sites. So
Oh, so you have
They're
it.
so
I
good
have it.
together. Like they rap well together.
I think
Yeah.
it's just
Honestly,
because
I think I like.
how long they've known each other.
I think I like Rafa better as a rapper.
I like
It
Raf
really just
better as a
depends.
rapper.
Yeah, like they.
I don't.
I think I like
yeah,
Colin's EP better. Than
I
Miles.
like the Colin EP a lot better.
But my
than
favorite
Miles.
parts of the Colin EP are mostly
Are
Rafa.
Raf.
Colin,
Yeah,
Colin,
I
who is
agreed.
David, and Miles,
Agreed.
who is Raphael.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, I think I don't know if I have like a favorite between the two of them. I think it really just depends on what vibe I really am feeling in that moment.
Yeah, they're both amazing.
But I do like the Miles EP more than the. No, I like the Colin EP more than the Miles one, but I think that's just because I like the vibe of the Colin one a little bit more than,
I
than
feel
the
like
Miles
the
one.
Colin EP has more bangers, and that's why I like that one more.
I think
There's
the
more
I don't know
like
if that's. I don't know.
because I feel like the
it has more like I could play this at a party and people are gonna
Well,
dance.
that's
see, no, that's Miles.
Miles is the one that really slaps because that's the one that has SOB. The same people who did it. I wish a
Oh,
nigga would.
Paramedic.
Like, that's-
Yeah,
they're on
I
the
just-
Miles EP.
I don't know. I thought In My City was more.
Yeah,
of
it has
a,
a City, not a game, but then
Yeah.
like pretty much everything on the Miles EP,
I
aside from
guess.
Time and Distance,
I don't
is kind of
know.
like a party song.
and yeah, maybe not Regulators, but like everything else on the Miles EP is like made for you to party because it fits the Miles character, who's like wild and crazy. Like the music fits that style.
I don't know. I just feel like the other ones are much more.
That's fair.
Because then you go to Colin, you've got Something in the Water, Running to the Sky.
Those are like yeah, but then you got
Easy Come, Easy Go, I wouldn't-
got E40 on a song like.
It's a fantastic song.
My mom made fun of me for that one. She was like, "Who are we listening to?" And I was like, "David Diggs, Rafael Casal, and E40." And she was like, "You're listening to E40?"
Like, what is it, 1994?
And I was like,
I was just impressed that they got E40 on the song. I was like, they got E40? Like, what?
Still living?
They did. They got the whole day.
Yeah, they got the whole band. They got SOB, and I was like waiting for them to, what are they called? SOB and
This would be RBE.
RBE, yeah.
who
Like,
did
Yeah,
one of the
Paramedic.
Paramedic.
We're
One
going
of
to
the
talk about soon.
one of the dopest tracks on the Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah, that I can't sing to because I'm not black. I just have to be like, oh, wish it on.
I have too much fun singing that song.
I wish a bitch would.
I'm like,
Yeah, you can say that.
yeah, I guess, but it's not the same.
It's not the
Oh, you want to say
But-
bitch all of a sudden? Instead, now
No, I love saying bitch when it comes up.
Oh my gosh.
Same. And y'all know it's not the same.
Yeah.
Chris Brown would.
Oh man.
Terrible. Chris Brown, don't shoot Jesse.
Anything else to add to the David and
It's
Rafa
amazing.
They're amazing.
They're
It was
amazing.
As actors and
and
rappers.
yeah,
and writers apparently?
I deeply respect them.
If you haven't heard either of those EPs, please go and listen to them. And if you have not watched Blind Spotting,
gonna-
please go
Please
watch
watch
Blind Spotting.
Blind
It's
Nobody wants blind spotting.
I'm really upset that it didn't get nominated for any awards.
yeah, it's getting snubbed in
People
award
wasn't going to
season.
because,
Yeah,
because nobody saw it. Nobody even knows that movie exists.
yeah, it's getting snubbed award season, which is the saddest
Which is
snubbing
a
I've
bummer
seen.
because it
Well,
was talk about
second to
some real
solo.
stuff.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. Blind Spotting is still the most upsetting snub that happened all
Yeah,
season
that one's worse than anything anybody else.
because it truly deserves so many
It
award
deserves all the
nominations.
accolades.
Yeah.
It's not getting.
So yeah, if you
It's getting accolades from the people who see it. Everyone agrees with us who saw it that it's
Yeah.
probably the best movie.
Yeah.
I think,
but
and I
that's
think
the problem.
Rafa's gotten an award from like an acting guild of some
Yeah, he
sort.
got something.
He got a nom for
But
something,
the problem is, it's not getting a lot of widespread love.
and it should be.
Yeah,
Um,
they were
Alright.
on. They were on the Daily Show.
Came out too
but-
close to Sorry to Bother You, I think. And Sorry to Bother You took what? Not that Sorry to Bother You.
I told you guys that when it first came, when Blind Spotting came out, I was like, it
Yeah.
came out too soon.
Yeah.
After
Yeah,
Sorry
they
to Bother
should
You.
have waited till November, December.
Should have waited till fall.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think they had that much faith in it. I don't think they thought this was an awards contender. I thought this was like, oh, it's our little movie that we made.
but it like totally.
But yeah, had it
is.
come out like now,
Because yeah, it was a movie
everybody
made for
would
them.
start.
They're not
Everybody
making
would
it
be
for,
talking about
everyone.
it.
They're like, this
Yeah.
is for us and the people we know.
Well, but the thing is, though, on YouTube there is a podcast where they talk about they do like Academy like
Sure,
interviews
we'll
and
talk about this
stuff,
when we get there.
and Blind Spotting was involved in those talks. They
No,
did bring
They just
they
didn't
did
pour
bring
enough money into the.
well, no, but they
campaign.
brought Rafa and David in as in
Okay.
potential contenders for the Oscars like
Really good
months
rap to all
ago.
the 6-year-old
Oh,
white
okay.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're gonna phase those people out soon. I have.
They're
Okay,
gonna start dying off any day
There
now.
you go.
okay. Well,
So to me,
yeah.
who's your number 4?
My number 4, the man who hit us with an album all of a sudden at the end of the year and totally threw off my list, Zayn. Zayn is absolutely
Just your list.
amazing. I said my list.
No,
I said my list.
I know, but I was like,
He threw off.
did?
He threw off my entire list because he was like, "Hey, my album's finally coming out on December 14th," and he released it, and it's 27 tracks long, and it is absolutely
I'm
amazing.
not the only one that did that this year. There's like a couple of people that released like long.
Wasn't
albums.
Drake's album really long?
Yeah. it
Listen,
was
Chris Brown
really
has a
long. I
42
haven't
track
heard-
album,
That's
so
what I was saying.
Okay, why wouldn't you split that up?
Chris
Chris
Brown.
but anyway,
Get away from those two.
so I'm super happy that Zayn has released
Followed
it.
us around like Gavin's raccoon in the woods.
I've been waiting all year for Zayn to
the
release his.
raccoon is
Stop it, guys! Shut up.
I don't care about the record.
Demons.
Shut up.
Anyway, I've been waiting all year for Zayn to release his album because he's been saying he was going to release an album and just dropping he dropped like 7 singles this year in anticipation of dropping this album. And oh my gosh, like the album, one of the things I love about Zayn is that his music has a certain mood and vibe to it. And when you listen to it, you fall into that mood. It's like, it kind of like, if I could describe that feeling, it'd be like you're walking through fog or like through haze. Like that's what his music sounds like. And I love it so much. It's so soothing and just really smooth to listen to. But yeah, there are 27 songs. And I think my favorites as of right now, because I've listened to it like on repeat since it came out, are like Natural, probably Back to Life, Talk to Me, There You Are, I Don't Mind, You Wish You Knew, All That, Fresh Air, Rainberry, No Candle, No Light, which features Nicki Minaj, and Too Much, which features Timbaland.
You listed enough songs to be
That's
on any
like
normal person's regular
exactly.
full album.
Exactly. And those are just my favorites. The rest of the album is also really, really good. Like, it'd be one thing if you release like 27 songs and like, you know, hit or miss on most of the songs. Like, no, all of these songs are really, really good. So like, yeah, it's great. And they all just fit this flow and this vibe so well. And I'm glad that he finally released the album. Now, if he would just, I hope that he manages to get over his anxiety so that he can go on tour, because I would love to see him.
on tour yet?
No, he has never toured. Even he never toured the first album, which was sad for me because he has a song on that album called She, which stays on every playlist that I've ever made. I've been listening to it in every playlist for the last 2 years, waiting for a new album.
Nice.
And it is a great song, but he has never toured it, and I would love to hear him sing that live.
So,
and I probably never will.
Has he talked about how he managed One Direction?
It was because he had other people on stage with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would probably
Okay.
be the same way. If I was by myself, I'd be like, oh God. But if I'm in a group of my friends, we can do whatever.
Yeah. So yeah,
Hey.
he announced like
He just
Like
doesn't
so.
like performing in front of thousands of people.
yeah he doesn't like the performance.
I get it.
He's not he just has he has anxiety whenever he performs. So he hasn't done a solo
right.
tour yet. He's done performances on like TV and stuff, and I think he's done like a couple of festivals when the first album came out, but he hasn't toured, which sucks. I would love to see him tour.
Is it just me or is Zayn really fun to say?
Zayn
Zayn.
Malik.
It's like Slade.
Slay.
Zayn.
All right, Jesse, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is Zayn.
Wait, what's
Definitely not. They got way more horror composers on here than I realized. But the Newton brothers, whose first names I literally could not find. So they are the Newton brothers.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
People.
They
They're a
they
secret.
scored the Haunting on Hill House.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys thought I was only going to do movie composers. Ha!
I mean, I knew you were just gonna go composers. Period.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
trying to see if you do anything that wasn't a composer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Jesus Christ.
What? Hey,
This is Jesse. He doesn't
nerd.
listen to music.
There was one road on my highway. And I had
Apparently,
time for your opposing
Music that isn't in a movie is anathema to his existence.
Yeah. So the Newton brothers kicked ass in the Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah. They did that.
They
Only,
did.
only Dallas and Jesse can talk about that.
Yeah.
True, but I don't know who's seen it. Yeah.
But again, it's kind of like a Spider-Verse situation where I'm like, I love everything about that show, and including the music.
Yeah.
And that one is more obvious, I think, than the other two, because I was talking about how Halloween is basically just,
Yeah.
and Hereditary is just insert demon noise here.
Yeah.
But Newton Brothers had like a score. The score that plays the opening titles is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That was one of those like, this is too good to skip the intro every time. I watch the intro every time because I'm like, I just want to hear this
There were
music.
sometimes when I was like that, and there's sometimes I was like, I need to know what happens after that scene, so I'm skipping the
Oh
intro.
yeah,
right now.
definitely.
But yeah, it was a skip the intro because the show was so good, not because the intro wasn't.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good reason to skip the intro.
Yeah.
I think when it was like, I need to watch the show.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think that might be my favorite Netflix intro since Daredevil. Yeah.
Good praise. Good praise.
Good praise.
I love Daredevil's intro.
Daredevil's fantastic and iconic now. Oh, Stranger Things.
All right, Colin, go
All right,
before
Colin?
he starts listing Netflix shows.
So my number 4 is... I'm still not 100% sure how to say the name. If it's officially Tupperware Remix Party or TWRP, I don't know. The point is...
Where did you find
this
these?
music? Ninja Sex Party is up.
Okay, well, to be fair, that one makes a little more sense because they're also the backing band for Ninja Sex Party. So, like,
God.
where one goes, the other follows. But,
Sorry, what
like,
was the name again?
Tupperware Remix Party, I would
right.
highly recommend their shit. It's basically...
I love you so much.
You put a voice through a synthesizer enough, and I'm gonna be about it. And that's basically what their music. Yeah, that's basically what all of their music is, and it's super fun. Like that really electronic sound. Just I don't know. It works for me. I don't know. Their music is just so much fun to listen to. It's really like smooth and enjoyable. But then also they have like songs on it like Phantom Racer that basically just sounds like an 80s track that belongs in like Speed Racer. It's about like a guy who died in a race and then came back from the dead to like kill all the other racers.
Don't think that's what happens in Speed Racer.
That's a very dark Speed Racer.
Sounds way
But it's a great song. Like, I don't know, there's
Is this
just
what happened to Racer X?
I'm also just really interested in any band that does like the thing that they do where they have like alter egos, and so they have costumes when they're on stage, and this whole like persona thing to it that I just find interesting.
It's just like a lot of performance.
Except that the Gorillas is like, whereas this is like actual people.
Actual Tumblr words.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess they have a whole narrative about how they're robots from the future or something, which I've never quite understood that either. But like, I don't know, if you like synthesizers, hoo boy.
I know they're not a band, they're a duo. I guess I should shout them out. That'd be nice. They're called We Are Skywalkers, and they're like that. They have their alter egos that have a whole backstory and whatever.
That's fun.
The main dude is a robot with a TV for a head, like an actual like old school box TV with an antenna and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's fun.
Great.
So
look them up.
Number 4.
Watch Blind Spotting and listen to We Are Skywalkers.
There we go.
Number 4, Dallas.
Number
If you take
4
anything from today.
for me is Chance the Rapper.
Hey,
Also, Chance the Rapper was referenced in Into the Spider-Verse.
he was.
He was.
And I've
more successful in that universe than he is in ours.
Did you lose your mind about that as much as you lost your mind in the opening scene of Atlanta where they said World Star? Was it about the same?
Probably about the same. So Chance didn't release an album, but he did release 6 songs. He released 4 a while back, and they released 2 more very recently. And each time I got upset with the people I call my friends because nobody told me that Chance released all these songs. And I had to find them for myself.
I meant to, I forgot.
Thanks to Spotify knowing who I am. And as soon as I open the app, they're like, hey, Chance the Rapper. But
You're like, why didn't no one tell me?
yeah, I've liked Chance ever since he was, I was going to say younger, but that doesn't really make it.
He is younger.
He's also, he's younger than us. And he gives me this, like,
Older man vibe.
this sense of, like, man,
All of us
I gotta
except for
do
Gabby because we
something.
established
I feel
earlier
like
that
I
she's
haven't
old.
done shit with my life.
I gotta do
Chance
something.
is over here doing all
Ooh, I hate when that happens.
I've
Don't-
watched his
let's not
entire
go
like
there,
trajectory
guys.
of his career. Like he started when he got suspended from school one day and made a mixtape called 10 Day because he was suspended for 10 days.
Oh my god.
And then just blew up. And now he bought out a theater so kids could watch Get Out. And he's just such like a positive force. He's from Chicago.
And he gave a ton of money to Chicago Public Schools.
Yeah, like one of the songs is called I'm
And
Not
he's
Need
not
Security.
signed.
Yeah, and he's not signed. And he's doing all of this. And he's like,
He is the least little bitch person we've spoken about so
Yes.
far.
The best.
definitely is. And he's just like so positive now. And his music has taken this like fluctuation between like being dark and like I'm dark and I'm sad and I do drugs to like, you know, I'm really happy and everything's positive.
He has
I
a
do
baby
and
too.
I have a baby
He's
and a baby
dad.
mama and she's great. And I just like, he raps about women in a way that like is so refreshing for hip hop
Really?
because
I mean,
he
yeah.
says like, yeah,
Aw.
I love my baby mom. I love my baby. I love the way she turned out. And it's just, his music can always put me in a happier mood.
Aw.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
I just love him so much. And
I like his name.
he's, it's
Right? The
And how he-
ballsiness of
also-
calling himself the rapper.
Yes.
Also, I like that his outfit looks like a player 3 from Mario. He's basically like, cause have you noticed that?
Well,
He wears
hat,
overalls and the hat with the 3 on
Yeah.
it, but the 3 is done in the same style as Mario's 1 and Luigi's 2. So he's basically the 3rd one.
it's adorable.
And
But, like, he's just-
with his overalls, like I thought everyone understood that.
No.
Oh yeah.
Just like, oh, that's how Chance dresses. That's cool. But like he does, and he uses his voice for something good. Like he's making these songs that just sound happy, but he's also talking about like, you know, the mayor of Chicago who is not doing his freaking job when people are getting shot by police. And it's
Yeah.
like,
He's
okay,
using
Chance,
his
you have
voice
something
for
to say.
something positive.
Yeah. And he literally,
As a force
he
for
bought
good.
like a media publication called The Chicagoist. I'm not from Chicago, I don't know what it is. But he basically says like, I bought Chicagoist just to run you racists out of business. So it's like you guys
Wow.
are, you know, covering this from an angle that
I
isn't
did not
great.
know that, and that is literally the most badass thing I've heard
I
in a
love
very
that.
long time.
He
Like,
bought a
He bought
publication
it,
to
and he mentions
like.
it in the
That's
song.
really awesome.
And I was like, I didn't know about it until I saw the song, and I was like, that's so freaking dope.
Yeah.
Like, because we all sit like,
He
Also
bought
that
a
he's
newspaper so
successful
he
enough
could
to do that.
highlight-
yeah, and
He bought-
he's
Right?
He bought a
25.
yeah.
All right, didn't need to know that.
years
Thanks.
Right?
I know. That's why we feel so
All right,
unaccomplished.
the
when we're
moral of the story is we need to
compared
blow up.
Yeah, so,
So-
we can do the things that Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
share, subscribe, comment below.
I
Let us know
hope
what you
so.
think.
I want to be Chance the
Share
Rapper.
this video
when I
with
grow
everybody,
up.
please.
Like, yeah.
So that we can stick it to the racists.
in
Do it to
Pasadena,
fight
because there's
racism.
plenty of that in Pasadena.
Share our video to combat racism. Actually, kind of, yeah, that kind of works too, because we're all, yeah,
whatever.
we're all different colors.
We're pretty
Cool.
tight.
Yeah.
different colored
Shout out to Chance
kids.
the Rapper for being
kids, different
awesome
colors,
An
different color
awesome
kids.
in all the
dude.
ways.
We've gone to our top 3 now.
Top 3.
Ooh.
though.
It's getting serious.
So I'm
is.
probably gonna
That's
skip because I know
dangerous.
Dallas has this individual way higher on their list.
Nobody has anything.
What's way
high.
higher?
We're on
Number
three.
one, probably Childish Gambino.
Gambino.
It's also number 3 on my list. So
Oh,
Let's talk about it.
You
then
talk
we'll
about him
talk
then.
about it.
Just
when
don't
we-
get-
Let's do it.
No, why don't we talk about it when we get to Dallas?
Because we can just have the same conversation
Okay,
now
fine,
if it's the
fine,
same
fine,
number.
fine.
It's not like we're not going to participate because
Do it
it's
now.
on your
Childish
list.
Gambino released like what 3 songs this year, and like
Yes.
2
technically more than 3.
amazing
Saturday
videos.
and
And Algorithm and the other one, the name of which I can't remember.
Just kidding, still less
But
than 10
well,
songs
Algorithm
this
and the
year.
other one were not supposed to be released.
But
They
listen,
weren't.
Like he was very clear in that email, you should not share this with people who aren't going to the concert.
but like,
None
if
of
we're
those
counting
matter
people who went
because
on
This
tour,
Is
then we can
America
count those.
is the song of 2018.
Sure.
So he released songs,
Yes, he released songs.
And he went on tour.
but you're not
Song.
supposed to.
Yeah, we're not supposed
He
to really.
sent
It's an
them to
experience.
people in an email saying like, hey, I'm working on this. I'm probably going to play it at the concert. So I want you to hear it, but don't share it with anybody not going to the concert.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Got it.
And they were dope.
That's
They
fair.
were, yeah.
They were amazing.
Okay, so I liked him as an actor 1st, and remember I begged
Same.
you. And
That's
begged
the
you and
problem
begged you,
is that he's good at
Dallas,
everything.
to
Yeah.
watch Community
Yeah.
for
Yep.
years.
Yes, you
Yep.
wore me down.
Did
and I
me.
watched
Yeah.
I know
on it.
you finally watched
Yeah,
it.
Wait, have you not watched Community?
This Childish Gambino,
Okay.
and I was like,
right? You
what?
tried
Are you
it.
No,
So what we're going to do is we're going to sit you down and we're going to watch the first 3 seasons
Yeah,
and then we're going to
amazing.
stop there and we're good.
Yeah, that's all you
Guys,
need.
I still have to finish Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
We'll do that too.
So
or did we
This
get
Is
to it
America
already?
broke America.
It did.
No, like literally, I know now. In the future, 20 years from now, when somebody does a period piece about 2018, that song
That
has
song's going
to,
to
play.
be on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That or Redbone.
both.
And I
But
think
Redbone
like,
didn't take over the world the way This Is America did. That's the
No.
thing. Redbone's a good song, a great song. I actually really like that song.
and
But
like,
This Is
yeah.
America is.
and I just like
Song
that
of
people
2018.
know who he is now because for a long time he was like.
It was Troy from Community.
He was well to you guys, but like to us, he was Gambino and he was Donald. But now everybody's starting to like get it, which is nice.
That's what happens when you're in
Kind of, it's
Star
funny
Wars.
because like you say that and it's like, yeah, people get it, but also I get it a whole lot less because he's gone from being
You get it a whole lot
Donald
less.
Glover / Childish Gambino to this like strange entity of talent that
Yeah.
like I don't understand.
That's what happens
Yeah,
when you.
when
get
he was
famous.
on SNL, I was
No,
like,
not
"Holy
this
moly!"
not
I
like
forget how funny he is until he was like on
He's a
SNL.
stand-up comedian too. Let's just throw that into
Yeah,
the
remember,
He is.
it was a great stand-up special.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of his music, he's a really good performer.
He is a
Yeah.
fantastic
Like,
performer.
ooh,
That
boy, that
concert,
concert.
Stuff that I've seen.
Dallas, to me and I
concert.
all saw him in concert, and
How old is he?
He is in his mid to late 30s.
Oh, thank God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If he was younger than us,
I would
like-
cry.
I'd quit.
yeah, that's it. There's
quit.
nothing left.
Life.
I'd quit if Donald Glover was younger than us.
Street Bridge.
Also,
You're
he's
right.
almost-
He's almost 40, I think. He's like 37.
Also, tangentially related, we kind of have him to thank for Chance the Rapper because Chance kind of got his start on a Gambino mixtape. Like, that's where we all found him. 'Cause he had worked on stuff before that, but then Gambino made a mixtape, put Chance on it, and everybody's like, oh, who's this?
Who's
Pretty
this
dope.
kid? This is kind of cool. I like this.
So he's kind of like his, the Dre to his Shady, I guess.
That's dope. Yeah.
Dr. Dre, Eminem.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. I was like, you didn't catch that one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You said Dre, but it sounded like Drake, and I was
Oh,
like, what?
Not Drake
Dre.
anymore.
No,
What?
it sounded
We're
like
not
Drake.
gonna
What
talk
you
Listen,
said.
Almost made
Gabby is ready to throw hands at any moment.
I
but-
still like
If I
it.
can't get to Drake, I'll take Drake.
Yeah. But yeah,
His music.
the
Gambino.
Dr. Drake.
the Gambino concert
I'm just
was
glad he came out, man.
yeah, the Gambino concert was incredible. And I'm glad I got to go because I wasn't sure if I was going until a week before the concert.
Oh, yeah.
Did your cousin get
Yeah, my cousin, who happens to be Childish Gambino's bass player, got me a ticket to go, and that was actually really dope.
I should have hit you guys up. I was
You wouldn't have gotten a ticket. We only got 2 tickets a night, and so me and my dad went on Sunday. My mom and my grandmother went Monday. I did not get to meet him, but I did get to meet.
met him before.
I've never met him.
Oh,
I've never met him. However,
maybe that was Trinity.
I did get to meet Ludwig Göransson. So
Dope.
the guy who did the music for Black Panther.
Coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk about
I'll talk about that later. But yeah, that was like an amazing concert and probably a good way to end off the year, especially since these are the last concerts that he's doing as Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
He claims.
No. I think he's done with the name Childish Gambino.
And well, he's got it until the album comes out.
Yeah.
And then he's done.
We don't know because he doesn't really explain anything.
Yeah.
He
like
did
he
say
said
pretty
this twice
definitively
already
at
for
the
the
second
last
concert,
album.
this was the last ever Childish Gambino
The problem is
concert.
that now we have to infer like this is an AP English class. If he means, is he done with the name? Is he done with the music? Is he done rapping?
I think he's done with the name because he was like, I made 2 new songs and I'm premiering them to you guys. So like,
Yeah, but, like,
I would
those songs as Gambino.
I'm assuming he's gonna release,
all right,
or he could,
bye.
or he could release them as Donald Glover.
Well, he's releasing the next album is the last Gambino album, so it will be a Childish Gambino album.
Yeah.
What if at this point he's so like just big
nuts.
that he decides to try to take the name the Great Gambino away from Babe Ruth? So now
I don't
him-
think.
I don't think he's going to, but
Maybe
okay.
now.
I am now the Great Gambino.
The point is, Childish Gambino is a very talented man, but he is also a very talented rapper. And he also puts on a really good show.
And This Is America is my favorite.
That video, but
Video.
that's
Yeah.
like
messed
not
with
even
my
the only
mind.
great music video he put out
The
too.
music video is
That thing just ruined.
Okay, but when you see him perform that live and you see the crowd get hyped during This Is America, because literally,
Dancers in the back too.
yes, because everybody's just like, yes, like,
insane. But everything I want to say about him is about him as an actor. So
yeah, but yeah,
So we'll
but
see
also
that.
that's also not my not the only great video he put out
Yeah,
this
but
year.
it feels like summer as well.
Yeah, it
that
feels
was
like Summer is such a
amazing.
good video.
It had not the same effect, but
It did for the hip hop community.
Right.
because, it was like This Is America affected everyone
Yeah.
who saw it.
Yeah,
Feels like Summer was like if you are
if you paid attention to what
watch
happened,
it and you're
You're
like,
like,
and even I'm not into hip hop that much, or like
and I
know,
recognize
but
that
like
too. Same.
I knew what was going on in that video because I'd been paying attention to everything that was happening in hip hop during that summer. A lot of crazy stuff happened in the summer of
was a lot of
2018
feuding.
in the music industry.
yeah.
And like the fact that video came out like towards the end of the summer and he had
And it
managed
was
to fit
animated?
all of those things in there in an animated video, like
It's like
I was like, were you working animators overtime to make sure that they got
Yes,
all the references in here?
probably.
Because, dear God, like, there's so
Yeah.
much. Also, I think it was Oprah who's like braiding somebody's hair in that video. I was just like, yes.
Yes.
It's like,
he had 3
do it.
like pretty big like older like
and then Whitney's in the video, Michael Jackson's in the video,
Yeah.
that Kanye moment with Michelle Obama. Like,
Whole lot.
it was a lot. That whole video, there's so much to unpack in that video, too.
the Obamas are
Riri
getting
was
into
in
music.
it. There was even a tribute to XXX Tentacion who died like 2 months before that.
Yeah, like it was a crazy summer, and like that video really like encapsulated everything that had gone on in that
Yeah.
summer. If you were paying attention to basically the hip hop community,
Yep.
And Colin, I saw him 2 nights in a row, and it was an experience.
Yeah.
All right.
it was not a concert; it was an experience. We were at church. It was church. That is what he said.
Stage, and you're not going to tell me he's wrong.
We're not. He also told us to put our phones away. So
Did.
Immediately.
immediate, like after the first song, he was like, "Put your phones away. This is an experience."
First thing, yeah, he said,
never understood
Ugh, that's the most dad thing. But that's where that's where he shows his age.
Yeah.
yeah, he's also a dad, so.
Yeah, no,
I
I
want to
know.
experience this again later.
Yeah.
Also, my memory is
like I
crap. I'm
said-
not going to remember what this
Like
is
I
actually
said,
tomorrow.
that's where he shows his age.
But it was
He's
still,
almost 40.
it was still really cool. It was dope.
Cool.
Cool. Oh,
But Gambino, we obviously all love Gambino.
yes. That's why he's on my
I
honorary.
had nothing negative to say in that intro.
Oh, there it is.
Nothing at all.
Other than him showing his age.
Yep.
That's not necessarily a negative
But,
thing,
it was
though.
a negative
What a
thing. It was just
dad.
pointing out, like, like that's he probably said that because he's coming. From
He
a
can also
different
probably
perspective
shave
than
that
him.
beard that he's had since This Is America came out.
He's a slightly
Now he
different
can't
generation.
because of This Is America.
He should.
No,
I think that's his look now.
Is it? Is that just
That was what he
No,
wore
he's-
for both concerts,
He's
whether he
gonna-
was performing
he's
This Is
gonna
America
take
or
it
not.
off.
Can Earn look like that?
No, I think he'll take it
because
off for
no. See, here's the
Earn
problem.
because there's,
If
like,
Childish
gray in
Gambino does
there.
it, he's doing it for a reason. If Earn does it, you know he's really hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
But also, though, like, if Atlanta season 3 starts and Earn looks like that, I know we're about to get into something.
Yeah.
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 I'm ready for it.
But he said that the season 3 is gonna. Okay, well, this is not
Okay.
the time to talk about this.
Yeah,
Let's move
stop,
on.
stop.
Let's move on. Demi?
All right.
Imagine Teddy Perkins, but with the beard.
It's amazing.
Yo, did you guys see the Emmys were okay?
Guys,
Nice.
it's not
It's not
worth
the
it.
time.
All right. So number 3 on my list, her name is Jade Nova. She released an album called All Blue, and she was also on Todrick Hall's Forbidden album, and that's actually how I discovered who she was. She has a few covers. She has a lot of covers actually on YouTube, but her album is so good. When I found the album, I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know she had an album, and I listened to it all the way through on Spotify, and I was just like, this is so great. I'm buying it. You can have my money because this album was worth it. I went through there's the first time I listened to it, there's definitely not a song that I would skip.
Nice.
It's such a good album. I think my favorites on it, there's Cosmic Love, Next to You, Bulletproof featuring Kevin Ross, and Try. I think Try is my favorite song on the whole album. But yeah, great album. She has a fantastic voice, and she's really great. I wish her all the success because she's dope.
Beautiful.
All right. I have no idea how to pronounce the name of my number 3. His first name is John. His last name is up for grabs. I think it's Paisano.
Give it to me.
Oh, I like him. He's good.
Paisano?
Paisano?
Paisano. Yeah,
Bicentennial.
Paisano.
All right. So, John Bicentennial did the composition for Spider-Man PS4 game.
Oh.
Holy crap, I love it.
He's done some real good video game music too. Like he did, I think, Mass Effect Andromeda that was real good. He's good.
I mean, I could just listen to that. That is my favorite Spider-Man score.
Is it what plays while he's like swinging through the city?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Which in and of itself is a cool thing. Like, I could just jump in the air and make this music play
Yeah,
at
that's true.
will, at command.
Yeah, whenever you want hero music, there it is.
How epic do you feel, though? Like, when you're jumping off a building and it just starts going dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. I wish I could hum it, but I can't because copyright, and I forgot. Yeah, I mean, just the freaking menu was epic because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main theme is one of my new favorite superhero themes. And it just sounds like Spider-Man. It doesn't sound like generic superhero. It
Yeah,
sounds
it
like
sounds like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And I don't know how to explain that, but it does. And it was fantastic. And it just makes me want to, like, A, do something. Like, just anything. I need to be productive. But B, also sit on my ass and play that game all day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, those are the two things I need to do when I hear that
Completely.
score. Yeah, he was awesome. And the fact that he took something that was already iconic in Danny Elfman's score for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, I was just like, I'm going to do something completely different and kick Danny Elfman's ass with the Spider-Man score.
Danny Elfman is like the Nickelback of composers.
No,
How
he's
dare
not.
you,
What?
ma'am?
People love to hate
Whoa.
on him.
Danny Elfman is one
Whoa.
of the best.
People love to hate on
Gabby
him.
just came in hot today. Like,
Gabby.
I like, you know how people love to hate on Nickelback? People love to hate on Danny Elfman.
saying
Just like
you
you
don't
did
like
right
him or
now.
just people don't like
No,
him?
I'm saying people don't like. People love to hate on
What
him. just
people
like,
don't like
you
Danny
just hated
Danny
Elfman?
Elfman is one of
I'm
the...
sorry. Did you not see?
I didn't
what they did
realize
to Danny
people had
Elfman
opinions on
like,
Danny Elfman.
Family Guy.
okay, but that's
in the
Family
Star
Guy.
Wars
Family
episode?
Guy's trash, so like that
Right.
doesn't
He also
count.
did the Simpsons theme, which is one of the most, like, another thing.
No, no. But what I'm saying is
That man
people
gave
love
us
to hate on
Nightmare
him.
Before Christmas, okay?
He gave us so much.
Look, I'm just saying that people love to hate on him too. Like they hate on him.
Anyway, this isn't about Danny Elfman.
It's
Let's
not about
continue.
Danny
Really
Elfman.
isn't.
Colin
The original Batman theme. Come on.
God.
Colin number 3.
on.
Colin number 3. What is your number 3, sir?
So my number 3 is
Fish.
no, it's not Big Fish. Thank you. You bitch.
I don't know what the names of the bands that you're pulling out.
Big Party.
Big
No.
Fish Party.
Big Fish Party.
I mean, there is a
Big
ska
Erratic Fish
band
Party.
called Real Big Fish, but I've never actually listened to them.
Oh,
Anyway,
I know who
Who's
they
number
are.
3?
my number 3 is Brockhampton.
I
I
love
don't usually do hip hop or rap. That's not usually my thing, but
I think I knew who they are.
Brockhampton, I love their most recent album. Iridescence is super good. It's interesting because they've got tracks where they're rapping about like their lives and how successful they are. And then they have like one track where it goes from one line that's gnawing on my wood like a termite. I'm pretty sure that's the same song that also has praise God, hallelujah, I'm still depressed. Like they alternate between like
Yeah, I'd be depressed.
things are going really well and oh man, things are going really badly. And also their music just like, especially the last 3 tracks on the album, which I think are San Marcos, Tanya, and Fabric, are just beautiful, like musically beautiful. And I think that's the thing about rap that has never grabbed me is that sometimes I feel like rap, the music behind the lyrics is often pretty simple so that you can focus on the lyrics and what's being said. And I like that Brockhampton, a lot of the music is sometimes more interesting than what they're saying just because it's really pretty to listen to.
Is Kevin Abstract and Brockhampton?
Yes, and I'm really upset because I wish his album American Boyfriend had come out in 2018 because that album is incredible and so gay. And that's the point of the album.
Yeah.
But like, I love that album so much and I'm really upset that I couldn't put him on my list by himself. Because I like Iridescence a lot, but American Boyfriend I just like more. But yeah, Brockhampton, Iridescence is just like all the way through a really just interesting album in what it does when talking about like their success, but also depression, and it's great.
Dallas.
Depression is great. Colin,
My third was Gambino, so we're skipping together.
Oh, that's right.
oh yeah, you don't get to speak.
That's right.
I mean, he's
Gabby, what's your number 2?
so my number 2 is Barty. Barty B. Cardi B.
Oh my gosh. I was like, who is she talking about?
Exactly what she was
Like, I love you, you love me.
Barty.
Big happy
Just
family.
me, Barty.
Barty.
She's out of here.
Oh my God, I love her so
Yes,
much.
out of you.
I really like Cardi B just as
Wait,
a.
we'll make sure, Jesse, Cardi B's not your number 1, right?
No. Okay.
I don't think he even knows who she is.
I'm gonna clarify. Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I just like how she's unapologetically herself. And second of all, her album just was a bunch of bangers. Like, I listened to that whole thing and on repeat for like a couple months, like the whole thing like beginning to end. And it was just a lot of fun. And she keeps releasing all these singles that they're just fun. She's out to make music that'll make people like dance and have fun and just sing the lyrics. And she's just having the time of her life. And I really it's nice to see somebody that's genuinely enjoying their job. And like, I know there's like drama with her right now, but I feel like it's a bunch of drama that she didn't make. It's other people around her doing it.
Yeah, that thing that happened. Oh no, that thing that happened at the festival this past weekend was stupid.
Oh, with her husband.
With her,
yeah, that
with
was
Offset?
super dumb. But see, everybody around her is causing chaos.
Oh yeah,
But a couple weeks ago, yeah. And then the thing with Nikki, I'm disappointed with Nikki because she's 35 and Barty was like 25 when she was causing this like drama. And it's just like, girl, instead of embracing a new rapper that's a woman and like saying, let's both take over this system together, she's like throwing her down. And for what? Like,
that is not hashtag girl powerlicious.
it's not. It's very like, why are there 150 male rappers?
I also
There's
feel
only
like
one.
as a result, I didn't hear much about Queen when she came out with that album, when Nicki came out with that album.
Exactly. Everybody was
made a
too
movie about
busy
Queen,
focusing on their stupid feud to even like I didn't listen to that album because I was mad at Nicki. Like, because I'm like, you're too old to be treating somebody new and young, much younger than you like this. It just seems very insecure and petty. But I really like Cardi because she's just out here releasing new music, not addressing the ridiculousness, really. I mean, she tried to fight her, but I mean, if you're going to come for Cardi, like, she's going to fight you. And her album was just fun. It was fun. It was great. And I really like Cardi. She's having a great year.
And she sounds like Riley Freeman, which is kind of fun.
Who's that?
Riley Freeman from the Boondocks.
She does.
Yes. Demi.
I haven't watched it.
I'm sorry. Game recognized game, granddad, and you looking kind of unfamiliar right now.
Ooh, that was good.
I've been doing that impression for years.
Boondocks came out when we were
In
children.
that voice.
What?
I need you to say, stop resisting.
Look at what you did.
Stop resisting.
There it is.
Just like Cardi B. So, number 2, Demi.
We're about to take a real turn. My number 2 is Tori Kelly, who released a gospel album this year.
Ooh.
Tori.
The whitest girl.
I was like, we're about to take a real big turn. Tori Kelly released a gospel album, and Tori Kelly, I've been a fan of Tori Kelly for years now. She started out, she was on American Idol, and Simon Cowell said that her voice annoyed him. Well, you can shut up, Simon Cowell. Yeah, but she didn't, she made it.
This just in. That's the point.
That's the point.
Just in Simon Cowell.
But she made it onto American Idol, obviously didn't win, and went on to do like YouTube covers and stuff. And then a few years ago, she became really popular and started doing did mainstream pop music and stuff like that. And she's one of the few artists that I know of who can do both mainstream music and gospel music, and both of them are absolutely amazing. All of it is really well written because she wrote all of these gospel songs herself. So it's an amazing album. It's called Hiding Place. It's like 8 songs. It's 8 songs long, and I love it. It's like probably an album that I've played almost every Sunday since it's come out. I highly recommend Masterpiece, which features Lecrae, who is a dope rapper.
I like him.
Yeah, he's dope. Help Us to Love, which features the Hamiltons. And there's a song that she has called Never Alone featuring Kirk Franklin, which if you listen to that song, I highly recommend watching the music video that she put out for that song because it's a live performance that she does. All of the music videos for this album are live, I think. But that particular performance with Kirk Franklin and with the band and the choir that they've got, it is so good. It's just such a good. She released it and I was watching it and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Also, I didn't know Kirk Franklin could dance like that. But yeah, Hiding Place by Tori Kelly, if you're into that kind of thing. Or you could listen to her like first ever album, which was called Unbreakable Smile. And that is also a really good album, and it is a pop album. So
For those of you who don't know, Kirk Franklin is part of the reason why every black church in America gets as hyped as it does. Because you can hear a church song, but then you hear a Kirk Franklin version.
Kirk Franklin is the gospel hype man
Yes.
for
definitely.
everybody.
Like, do you know the song He Reigns?
He reigns.
So,
He reigns. Yeah.
you know, I thought that was just the version of the song, Our God is an Awesome God. I showed Lucas that. He almost lost his mind.
What? Really?
Because he didn't like, you know, it's just a regular song outside of.
That's the
That is. See, that's not the version I know.
Yeah.
I want to hear the version you know.
We'll show it to you later.
We'll show it to you. Yeah.
Franklin.
Kirk Franklin is why we get hyped at church.
Exactly.
That's exactly
Like every
it.
black church service is like 3 hours. Stop singing.
But it's only because of the worship part of the service, not the actual sermon.
2 songs are as long as this podcast.
All right, Jesse, what's your number 2?
All right. On that note, yes.
If church was like that, I would have probably enjoyed it more.
Listen, you can come to mine.
Little black church.
On you, it's on your street.
Number 2.
Oh God.
Yeah. Really hard to find. My number 2 is Alan Silvestri.
Hey,
Heard that name before.
Yeah. Well,
he does a lot.
He does a lot. Well, we'll get to. So what he did this year, he did Infinity War, and he did Ready Player One. So Infinity War, they brought him back, having scored the original Avengers, and then replaced by Danny Elfman for the sequel, Age of Ultron.
That's why it was trash.
And they brought him back to bring back that iconic score. Bum, 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 plus all the
And
rest
that's
of the
why
music.
this Avengers movie felt more like an Avengers movie than Age of Ultron.
That's probably part of it. So, I mean, that music was great.
I'm a hater, guys.
You are such a hater.
In the haterade.
What he did with Ready Player One was ridiculous, because not only did he give Ready Player One its own awesome theme song,
He had to incorporate all
he
those other.
incorporated so many other theme songs, some of which he had made himself, like the Back to the Future theme, some of which he had nothing to do with, like the Jurassic Park theme, the Godzilla theme, the freaking Child's Play theme that plays for a second when Chucky shows up in that movie.
Nice.
But it's incorporated so smoothly you don't notice if you're just listening to the
So
score.
he's just a master of...
He is. Well, he is. He's been doing this for 1,000 years.
Okay.
He's amazing, yeah.
Like every
He's up there with John Williams.
He really is up there with John Williams and Danny Elfman. As much as I love the Infinity War theme, I was really impressed with what he had to do with Ready Player One and was able to pull off so seamlessly. Because you could listen to the Ready Player One soundtrack on its own and not realize you were listening to 74 other soundtracks at the same time, because it's so smooth. It goes in and
I
out.
didn't notice.
And you would have to be like, that's the thing, you would have to be a hardcore nerd like me, who knows all these themes already, or knows them well enough to recognize them when they pop up. But yeah, Alan Silvestri, he good.
He good.
He's
He
been around
good.
for 1,000 years.
He has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
has.
been doing a lot. Like I said, he made the Back to the Future theme, one of the most iconic themes ever. So
Very dope. Very dope.
yeah. Colin,
pretty good.
what's your number 2?
You're not gonna know who it is.
Oh, definitely not.
None of us are going to guess it.
Rocket Sex Spoon.
We're going to be like, is this a ska band?
What's this?
It's about gay ninja party sex.
That is an entirely different thing that I have not seen and don't really want to.
So Colin's next band is Utensil Orgy.
Go, Colin, go. It's number 2. Go.
Can you do like? I guess that'd be a cover band.
See, I was thinking, the band that you bring up, it feels like one of those, like, pick your band names. Your first letter of your first name is
Yeah, yeah,
True.
Yeah.
Or like,
orgy or sex.
yeah, like a name generator.
All right, no, wait, what's your number 2?
Anyway,
we're so close to being done, guys.
and yet here we are.
And yet you're still talking.
So,
Gabby, shut up.
Go, Colin.
Demi just decided to murder Gabby today. All right.
Keep going.
So, my number 2 is Jess Glynn. She might be my favorite singer, just like ever.
You had one of her songs
Her voice is beautiful.
on the playlist that we had when we were on our way to Irvine that one day.
And it's like, it's great because the first time I heard her music was, I think she was in like a Coke commercial. And I was
Interesting.
like, huh, this is interesting. I want to know more about it. And then I looked up her first album and it's great. And I was really worried because after that album came out, she was like, yeah, making that album and touring for it was a lot. So like, I'm probably going to make more music, but I'm not sure because it was a lot. And I was just like, I spent a long time going, we might only get the one album. And I love this album, but if she doesn't make more music, I'll be really depressed.
Oh.
And then she came out with an album this year, and God, Always in Between is just so, like, her voice is just amazing. And oh my God, like I don't adequately know how to talk about it because it's just like, it's such a good album and her voice is so beautiful. I also bought a ticket to see her in concert next year, and I am so excited for that.
So she might be on the 2019 list too, guys.
No, I'm not going to put her on 2 lists
Why not?
because that feels.
But if she releases something that's super good for
love to have you on
2019,
every
like,
list.
Well, she's going on tour. I don't know if she's releasing new music, and I feel like.
yeah, but I mean, if she puts on like a super amazing tour, like,
Yeah, but I don't know. That feels like cheating to have somebody on 2 lists
I don't
unless
believe
they legitimately release stuff, like new stuff.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, let him do it.
We'll talk about it in a year.
Yeah,
But
come back in a year.
Yuck his list.
I didn't yuck it. I'm just saying you should keep the opportunity open for her to come back.
yeah, like she does like upbeat pop songs, and then she does like slower, more soulful songs, and she balances them really, really well. Just the first track on that album, just the intro alone, I was like, shit, this is amazing. If the rest of this album is this good, it's going to be a great time. And it is. Oh, man. She also has a song with Macklemore that's surprisingly really good. Like, I'm not really about Macklemore, but their song together, it works. It's great. Yeah, I mean, he's never done anything to bother me. I've just never paid attention to him after like Thrift Shop. And I guess same love. Yeah, I would most definitely recommend checking out Jess Glynn's 2 albums because her voice is gorgeous.
Jess, like Jesse or Jess?
Jess, like Jess.
Okay,
Dallas,
cool.
number 2.
My number 2 is Royce the 5'9".
Yep.
He is a rapper that not everybody knows. He's like,
Definitely heard of him.
slowly getting more prominent. He runs in the same circle as Eminem. They're like really close friends.
Aren't they Bad Meets Evil?
Yes, Bad Meets Evil. He's half of Bad Meets Evil.
Yep.
It's funny, one of his singles is actually the song this year that everybody thought, oh, Eminem can still do this. There's the other song on this album, and it's called Caterpillar. And he raps, he has 2 verses, and then Eminem has the last verse. And he comes in, and everybody's like, oh, Em's back. And
It's like his Forever verse, his verse on Forever.
kind of, Forever was a different situation, because then he just like outshined 3 superstars
Yeah.
in a different way. So Royce, I was pretty sure was going to be my number 1 until someone else came along this year, but I'll get to that in a second. Because he released 2 albums this year. One called Prime 2, and this one he does with DJ Premier. Hip-hop heads know DJ Premier is like a really big deal as far as like hip-hop production goes. And that one is kind of like a mixtape in the way that he's just rapping, not about anything in particular, just like, I'm good at rapping, I'm going to show you that for this whole album. And then he has one called Book of Rhyme, which is more introspective, where he talks about like how he grew up and his father was terrible, and he's from Detroit, things are rough.
Yeah.
But
Like Teddy Perkins dad or Joe Jackson or
pretty much.
yeah.
But it's just he's really good at doing both things. He's like, I can brag about how great my life is now, and I can tell you about how much it used to suck, and I can balance those very well and like weave in and out. And I'm very good at rapping, and I want you to know about it.
I feel like some most rappers do.
Yeah,
I'm good at
And he
rapping and I
does
want you
it.
to know about it.
He does it particularly well, and that's why he was my number 1 until a few months ago, when we'll get to it.
Number 1.
Woo, number 1. Okay, so I feel like this is on other people's number 1. We'll
Is
see.
it?
Probably. I hope
Bet you it's
so.
not.
So my number 1 is Kendrick Lamar and all the other artists that were on the Black Panther
You
album.
cannot do that.
They're all
No
on
one
that
said
one
she couldn't.
That
album.
is called cheating.
Literally nobody said she couldn't.
Like my number 1 is
But
50 people.
specifically Kendrick Lamar because he
Yeah,
pulled them all
that's
together.
Fine, that's fine.
Sure.
He pulled them all together. That album, he didn't, I was telling Demi this on the way here. He didn't need to go that hard on a superhero movie album.
It's not that he didn't need to. I think it's that nobody would ever expect him
No,
to.
I know, but it's like what I
they would
told
allow
her
him.
is like
Exactly.
Yeah, but like here's my thing. It
Watching the
reminded me
superhero
of
movie.
like
Fuck the place
you
up,
know
fuck
the
place up,
Tarzan,
fuck the place up.
you know like the Phil Collins Tarzan album.
Yeah.
Yes,
How Phil
we've all
Collins
seen that
went
movie.
hard on that.
But there's
He
a
didn't
difference
need
between going hard and like, oh, that's a jam, and like Black Panther is. They have a lot to say, and I wasn't
know.
expecting it to accompany a Marvel movie.
Exactly. That's
Phil
what
Collins
I'm
at
saying.
least
I just
did a
like
Disney
didn't.
soundtrack though.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is they didn't.
He didn't have to do all
He didn't
that.
need to do. Kendrick didn't need to assemble.
He did not
these
need to get in that
people,
palm tree.
and he didn't need to do all of this.
To be fair, he didn't have to do this album.
He didn't have to do this album. He didn't have to do any of this, and he did it, and he did it so well. The music stands for itself. It's nominated for Album of the Year,
Woot
even
woot.
though like it's a soundtrack kind of.
Yeah, those usually don't get those.
He didn't need to do this, and he did, and it was amazing. It's so good. Ugh, I just love this album.
It's just a good album, and
It's a great album.
it tells the story of Black Panther without actually spoiling the movie for you.
Yeah.
Because I listen to that album
Songs are
so
from
much.
Perspectives. It's like universal feelings.
Yeah.
It just
It's not like, and now T'Challa comes back to life.
yeah, it's not that. It's just like
Which it could have been.
It's feelings. It's like the characters' perspectives. It's like you understand. It just adds depth to the film.
All hell King Killmonger.
Yeah, it just adds depth
Fuck
to
the
it
place
in a
up,
way
fuck
that
the place up, fuck the place
I don't
up.
care, Jesse. It's still really good.
So good. It's such a good album.
And it's just, I love it so much.
Thank you, Kendrick.
Anyway, so thank you, Lord Kendrick, King Kendrick.
And this is also coming off of a real good 2017 because Damn came out in 2017, right?
What I want to know is how did he have time for this?
He won a Pulitzer
Because
Prize
he
for that
really
one,
put
and then he comes out with this too.
these
Like,
two albums, like, oh my god!
mean-
and I was like, how does Kendrick have any time to do anything ever? Like, but he's just an incredibly.
I mean, he didn't produce every song, did he? I think he just curated it. He's on every track.
No, I know he's on every track. That's what I'm saying.
He's on every track, but even then, when he's on every track, he's not like on every track.
That's
Like he'll
true.
do like a background vocal and like that
He's
doesn't.
on every track, actually.
no, he is.
I think he is. He has a snippet on like every single track where he at
He's
least.
got his
Georgia
voice.
Smith, I am, when she's singing.
He might be. I would have to re-listen to it, but
It's just her singing.
I think he does like background stuff on almost every single
He
song.
did something. His name was on all of.
Yeah,
all of it,
he
I
has something to do with every
But
single
anyway,
track.
I'm putting this on Kendrick, and I just want to say thank you.
We all appreciate the work that you put in.
Like the best.
And it's, like the songs, you know, a few of them are Black Panther specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are enough songs on here that
Like
you
Black
can
Panther.
just listen to with no knowledge. If you had no knowledge of the movie or the fact that this is a soundtrack, it's just a really dope Kendrick Lamar song.
yeah,
I
it
think
is.
that that's the appeal of it.
Yeah, like if you watch
paramedics.
that music video, it's just like,
It has nothing to do.
it's just
There's,
like a Kendrick and J Rock song.
Yeah.
With Future, and it's like
but that's what I liked about these videos is they didn't really like none of the videos because you know usually when a song is like a pop song for a soundtrack, the movie's put throughout the music video, and
Or,
like,
or the video is associated in some like.
yeah.
some way. But like Kendrick didn't
Venom
do
is
that really
technically
with the
footage.
videos. He kind of did it with All of the Stars, but not quite. It was more hinting at, or like there was an
It had the
African
same
theme to
themes,
it.
but it wasn't like.
But it
here's a
wasn't
scene
like
from the movie.
here exactly, which I
King's-
appreciated too because I feel like it just added another. It just put a little space between the album and the movie.
Meanwhile,
but in a
King's
way
Dead
that
is the
helped.
most LA video
Oh my god!
you will ever
the
see.
opening scene with him in the palm tree eating a hot Cheeto dipped
Elote, the
I
most
was
LA
like,
thing.
Oh my god! If you want what Los Angeles is,
I can
at least
hear- I
to
can
brown
hear the
and
little
black
bell from here.
people, if you want what Los Angeles is to brown and black people, I don't think white people can relate. But
They might.
I think.
Let's
I
go
think,
get that elote.
Yeah, exactly. I hate when they call it street corn. I just want to punch somebody.
I've never heard that.
When you okay,
That
I like
sounds-
going to
it
history
happens, but it's so
restaurants,
demeaning.
and I hate it. Well,
kinda fire,
no,
though.
I just feel like
I want some street corn.
it's like they know they can't call it elote, but like
Yeah, you
Literally
can.
can't.
It's
No, they
called
can't say
elote.
yeah,
Let's get some Melati.
but it's like they know they can't call it elote, so they have to call it what like something else. But I'm just and then what they do to it, it's just like, dude, it's easy. It's mayonnaise, it's cheese, it's butter and lemon and some sauce or some
No
spicy
mayonnaise on the
powder.
menu, but yes.
But like it's not hard, and then they try to they're like aioli, bitch, keep it what it is.
Aioli.
Like I just don't like. I
Man,
don't like
but
what they do.
Anyways, back to Kendrick Lamar.
But like
Street corn.
that video is just I love it. It's great. It's just
Yeah, both the videos for it. Also, when he performed King's Dead or the snippet of King's Dead on the Grammys, oh my gosh, I sat there like, that's off the album. That's off the album. Oh my gosh. And then I knew exactly which part of the song he was doing, even though he had censored it because he's on the Grammys. And I was like, are you going to scream all hell King Killmonger
Did he?
in this room? And he did. And I was like,
I haven't
oh
seen
my
that performance,
God,
but now
my
I have
heart.
to go see it.
Like, I was ecstatic in that moment. I was just like, he just said all hell Killmonger in like King Killmonger at the Grammys. I'm about it. Yeah.
I
It was fantastic.
This is a movie technically owned by Disney.
It is.
Yeah,
No, I love
Official sound.
Fuck the place
Paramedic.
up. Fuck the place up. Fuck
has
the
a-
place up.
That
Paramedic.
just says, I wish a nigga would.
I love
6
it
times
so
in a row.
much.
The first time I heard that song, I was like, we did that. That's a thing that happened.
I love it so much.
was
I
really-
wish
I thought-
you know what I wish? It's like I wish we were 10 years older so we could have been involved with this. Like,
Oh,
What we're
man.
saying is we need to blow up. So what
Yeah,
you're saying
please
is
blow us
like
up.
and subscribe. Share our video around.
Yeah, make us
up,
well.
please.
Tell Rafael Casel to come by already like he said he would.
Oh my gosh.
did
He did not say
Invite
that.
it.
Cool.
I'm just like,
You're still on Gabby's number one?
Yes, we
All
are.
right, to me. Hey, get us out of here.
So my number one is Camila Cabello, who has been my favorite artist literally probably the last 2 years, even though her album came out last year.
She's been alive.
That's not true. I didn't become a fan of hers until she left Fifth Harmony. One of the hardest working artists I've seen this past year. I don't think I saw her ever stop working once this album came out. She went on tour. She had her own solo tour, which I went to. I went to the fourth show of her solo tour. And first off, her tour was phenomenal, especially for what is technically a debut solo artist. Her album is also incredible. But while she was doing her solo tour in the UK, she was also the supporting act for Taylor Swift's tour in the UK. So she was going back and forth between doing her own concerts and Taylor Swift's concerts.
Holy moly.
And then doing award shows. She's the most awarded female artist of 2018 with 45 awards or something. And she is now a 2-time Grammy nominated artist. I'm so incredibly proud of this girl who I have never met before in my life. But she has done so much in the past 2 years, and she worked her butt off, and she did an amazing job. But yeah, her album I was anticipating for the longest because it was supposed to come out in 2017, and I'm glad it came out in 2018 so I can talk about this. Nice. But yeah, it came out in January of 2018, and it has remained my favorite album of the entire year for a year, which is impressive. So I think my favorite song, the whole album is good, but I think my favorite songs on the album are All These Years, Havana, obviously, Something's Gotta Give, In the Dark, and I love Into It too. Into It's also really good, but literally all the songs are really good. So yeah, Camila Cabello, really good singer-songwriter, really good pop artist. And the rumor is we're getting a second album in 2019. So she might be on my 2019 list too if her album is as good. Oh yeah, she is working, but she is taking the winter off. Thank God, because I was getting...
Poor kid would be burned out.
She was burned out. I think she said this is her first vacation in 6 years.
Holy moly.
And I was just please rest, please drink water, please sleep, please eat. Well, she's definitely going to eat, but please do all the rest of the things. So yeah, proud of her. Keep working really hard. And
breakfast. It's 4:00 in the afternoon.
And she's also a sweetheart. I actually did. I was part of the Q&A at her concert, and she's just so sweet.
Did she A one of your cues?
She did not. But yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's so nice. I just being in her presence, she's just...
Her presence is her presence?
She is a ray of sunshine. It's incredible.
All right.
But yeah, that's my number one, Camila Cabello, who, her album, Camila, and then she released several remixes to several songs on that album. So, yeah.
Somehow, certain names that we've been dropping will inspire just this huge conversation. And some of them are that's all you.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Most of
you can tell the difference when we were on the Black Panther discussion versus on the...
Oh, yeah. Well, that's me and Colin. Most of our lists have been
So on that note, my number one is Ludwig Göransson.
Yep.
I met him, and I shook his hand.
The man
twice.
who composed Black Panther, Creed 2, and Venom. But
the music was good in Venom. I think I pointed that out.
It was great.
I feel like
Venom. I don't know why y'all hate
Venom
on
felt like
so much.
It's a bad movie.
Venom felt like just generic superhero music that he picked out of a stock, a free stock thing on the
Look,
internet
just
from the
because you
90s.
didn't like Venom doesn't mean the music wasn't...
Yeah, I don't like Venom, and I think the music's good. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, can't judge someone based on how they like the movie. It has nothing to do with how the music goes.
but yeah, he's incredible.
He's great. Yeah,
I told that to his face.
First of all, the first time I really noticed him was Creed 1. Because holy shit, Creed 1's score was incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go back to follow up what not John Williams, but Bill Conte did, which was so iconic from the original Rocky, and craft a new theme
Creed,
for Adonis Creed.
Grounded the music really grounded that movie. It kind
it
of
felt like
gave
the
it
original
a
Rocky.
timelessness. Yeah. And it also, if it hadn't been for that movie, I don't think I would have, the music, I don't think I would have cried during that movie.
Oh my god. Well, the
But it
training
was
montage
just-
in the original Creed, I was like, you did that. You made a new theme that, as far as I'm concerned, can stand with the original Rocky theme.
Yeah, I
That is
agree
hard
with
to
you.
do.
I agree with you.
And he did it again in Creed 2. Creed 2, obviously had the same music again. They also had this awesome, piano melody that they added to Creed 2. That
still
was like
need
the
to see that movie.
Donnie and Tessa,
Bianca.
theme that was gorgeous and beautiful. I loved it. But the Black Panther theme, the first time I heard that, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah,
That whole, when they first get to Wakanda and you get that.
Yes. Oh my God. It just.
Oh my God.
He got it. He understood what they needed to go for.
It was perfect. This is Ryan Coogler's boy too. He's following him around every movie.
When I was talking to him, I was not expecting to start a conversation with the man, but he.
You did? That's so cool.
Well, yeah, I went up to him just because I saw him and like in my head, I was like, for the sake of the reshoots, I have to get over my being an introvert and actually go up to him and compliment him on his work. So I went up to him and I was just like, I just want to say that Black Panther score is probably one of the best scores I've like ever heard. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, it was a really special movie, and just started having a conversation with me. And I was just like, oh, I was not expecting to have a conversation.
There's a dog chasing his tail.
He does that when he's bored. He's bored. He's so cute.
He saw us looking.
Yeah, if you look, he stops.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I met him and I shook his hand twice, and he was really nice. He was telling me that he has known Ryan Coogler for 10 years. They've been working with each other since they went to school at USC. That's where they met each other. And
they're both young? I didn't know he was young.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
An old man.
Oh, no. Like, young dude, long hair. Like, he's one of those guys.
You know what?
Kind of hippie looking.
People probably don't know what he looks like yet then because he's so young.
Oh, music.
So just the fact that
what does John Williams look like?
Yeah, but like just the fact that you went up to him, you knew who he was, you wanted to talk to him. It probably was like, oh my God, somebody's asking about my work. Let me talk about it.
Well, I mean, there were a few people who were talking to him. I felt bad because I was actually interrupting a conversation that he was having.
It's funny, he looks like Weird Al Yankovic.
He does, kind of, but younger. Ludwig. But yeah, he was just, he was super nice. Goranson.
His name is Ludwig?
His name is Ludwig. And he looks like a Ludwig, too.
His parents named him that knowing he would be a composer.
Oh, definitely.
They were like, give him Beethoven's name.
Yeah.
This is art.
But yeah, he was super nice. And I told him congratulations on the Oscar nomination. And he was like, well, the Oscar nominations haven't come out yet. And I was like, oh no, but they will, and you're going to get one.
We missed the deadline. We should be fine.
We should be fine.
No, but honestly, as far as I'm concerned, Black Panther needs to win.
He smile?
He did. He smiled and was really happy that I said that. I was like, you're going to get it, man. You're going to get that nomination.
Yeah. Black Panther needs to win, as far as I'm concerned. I think that is the best score of the year.
I agree with you. If it doesn't
including
win,
his own
everyone's
other
racist.
scores of Creed 2 and, according to Gabby, the masterpiece that is Venom. So.
Look, Venom's great.
Also, I think a lot of more people know what he looks like if they were at that concert because Gambino brought him on stage.
And did a guitar solo.
He did a guitar solo.
And he wailed on that guitar solo.
Guys?
Oh, yeah. I guess he's known to be a record producer.
He is, yeah. He works on Gambino's music a lot.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing Gambino stuff since Gambino started.
Yeah.
I think he also worked on Community. Probably.
Got it. Yes, he did.
Yeah. So
Nice.
He's friends with Gambino.
Oh, I heard about that.
He's friends with Donald Glover and Ryan Coogler.
And the
which is
Russos, too.
Yeah, so.
If we could do all three of them and like working on something, that would be great.
I mean, I feel like that's completely possible.
It is possible. We just need it to happen.
Oh, look
Colin.
at him. He just looks like a cute little, like, nerdy band kid.
He's also decently tall. I think he was taller than I am.
He looks like a band kid. I love it.
Oh, we can't have that.
Which, for the record, Demi's pretty tall.
Yeah, I'm like 5'10".
That means he's probably taller than me, because Demi is like barely shorter than I am. Which means, so now he's off my list.
Oh my
Sorry.
God. Colin?
Taking him
Colin, number one.
Solid.
All right. So my number one is Shepherd. They're a band from Australia that like they came out with an album a few years ago, and it was cool, and I was about it. And then they started coming out with singles from the second album, Watching the Sky, and like every single one was a banger. And I was like, all right, now I'm worried, because if you're releasing all the good shit now, what's the rest of this album gonna be like? But like, shit, that album is good. It also does the thing that I like a lot when albums do sometimes, where like one song will very clearly like lead into another. Like, I love when that happens.
That bugs me because sometimes I want to listen to one song and it feels interrupted.
No, but then that's fine. You just have to listen to the next one.
You should check out.
And that's okay.
You should check out Dawn Richard's first album. Her album does that. I think it was either that album or one of her EPs that does it a lot. And I was in love with those transitions.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Dandy Kane did it on their last album, and I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest transition I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. But like, Watching the Sky, it's like, I keep listening to it, and I kept thinking, like, is this my number one? But like, even the songs on it that I don't like as much, I can't skip them. And like, I have to sing along with them, even if I don't really like them. But like, I do, because they're just that good. And like, I'm really upset because Shepherd toured in like 2017 when the album wasn't out. And like, I could have gone, but I was like, they don't have an album out. I don't know what the point is. And now they're only touring in Australia, and I'll like never get to see them. And it's just like, well, dang. But like, it's okay because I have the album and
You can live with that.
I can live with that because that album is amazing and it is absolutely my favorite thing that came out of 2018 because it was the most hyped thing for me in terms of music and it delivered like better than I expected it to be.
I think it's funny that there's only one artist on Colin's list that any of us have heard of, and the rest of them are just like,
People had heard.
Listen to more music, you nerds.
Basically, I just need to start talking to.
listen, even the music I listen to, sometimes you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
Red
That's
as hell.
true.
Not us a nerd, but he has a fan called Ninja Sex.
All right, Dallas.
I'm still trying to figure out this whole
Dallas, what's your number?
Dallas, you're the number one.
All right, so my number one is Lupe Fiasco.
Hey, Lupe.
Lupe Fiasco has been my favorite rapper for at least a decade.
You showed me Lupe when we were kids.
Yes.
And I was obsessed with him too.
Lasers was like an album that I absolutely loved.
Oh,
So-
freaking the coolest, man.
Yeah, The Cool is my favorite album.
I know all of that album by heart.
So like, Royce was my like number one on this list for a while, and then September 13th comes around, and Lupe announces this album that none of us knew
heard
about.
of it. I haven't heard of it. Wait, you were like none of y'all are my friends because
that
you
was
didn't
for
tell.
chance, 'cause
Really?
Lupe, nobody knew
I
about
thought you said the Lupe thing too. But continue.
So he announced this album on Twitter, cover art, track list, all of that, and then 8 days later the album was out,
Holy moly! I haven't heard this.
and no one knew about it.
Holy moly!
This album is technically a two-parter, so it's almost as long as Zayn's album.
Damn.
There are 24 tracks.
Damn.
This album is an hour and a half. It's long.
So is Zayn's.
It's longer than a lot of movies I saw this year.
Yeah, Zayn's is
hour
an
and a
hour and a half too. I was actually shocked that it was an hour and a half. I was like, I thought this was going to be longer.
Damn.
So freaking
How
long.
long it takes Venom to show up in that movie?
Okay. Can you?
Chill, just. It's a two-parter. It's called Drogas Wave.
Drogas Wave.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Like
based
he
off
said
of
it with the
Creed?
accent. He said it like a white person.
Yeah,
Drogas
she's
Wave.
translating for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
yes.
said drogas, which translates to drugas.
Drogas
Drugs.
Wave.
Yeah.
So
Elote
yeah,
translates to Alati.
Drogas Wave.
yeah, so it's two
I mean,
parts.
drogo.
Drugs. That part is basically about Lupe's from Chicago, and he lived next to drug dealers, and it's just about
Drogas.
that kind of experience. And a lot of Lupe's music is about stuff like that, like
Like
it's hard. growing up out here.
Adjacently.
Yeah, just like
Adjacent to this.
all of the crime
Yeah.
and how hard it is for Black people, this and that.
Which is true.
Definitely.
Which is something that's hard to explain.
And he does it so well. And the really interesting part is Wave is the second part. And this album, the concept is, if you describe it, it kind of sounds like an indie comic book premise because Lupe's super creative and he does this like revisionist history thing. And I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read what he said it's about. It says it's about a group of slaves on a slave ship on their way to Africa to the West Indies. And they are thrown off the boat, but they didn't die. They stayed alive and lived under the sea. And they dedicate their lives to sinking slave ships. So they become this super underwater force against slavery. And I was like, yo, if that's not the superhero movie, I want to see it immediately.
Yeah.
So it's
You
like,
see Aquaman yet?
Stop it.
see, like, if Lupe made Aquaman, I'd be like, yeah, just sink some slave ships. But it's basically, it's just,
Amistad meets Aquaman.
yeah.
So we should write that
Aquastad.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
should be-
Aquastad is a badass.
we should be
Aquastad.
friends with Lupe and write that movie and
Yes.
make it.
And this is the second album. This is the second album that Lupe has made that has inspired me to write something. I'm like, I'm just gonna make movies about all your albums.
Yeah.
But it's so good and it's so creative and it's educational. It's like a history class and a social studies class and a rap album all together.
I
And that's
love
a lot of his
Lupe.
music. And he's just so good and so weird and I love it. It's just like, it's the thing I need.
I
I
think.
had a conversation. I had to web chat with Daniel and Mason
Aww.
at my school, so we could just kind of decipher this
Friends.
album
Aww.
because
And Gabby.
Those are his best friends. Those are his man.
like this
His
album
mans.
came out and everyone was like, "What does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean?" People were like
Oh my God.
writing theses about this album.
I mean, I feel like you can do that about most of Lupe's music.
Yeah.
I think that's what drew me to him when I was in high school because I was just kind of, I was like not used to that level of lyricism because I hadn't really listened to Nas. I hadn't listened to Common.
Mhm.
So like when you introduced me to Lupe, it was just something I hadn't experienced before. And like when we were kids, like, what was that song? To the window, to the wall. That was like the
Get Low.
song. Get Low was the jam, right?
Get
And it was
Low.
like, Nelly was out. It was big. So it's just like I loved all that stuff, but this was just something so strikingly different in the same genre that it just like it was. Oh, I love Lupe.
And he has like all the songs stand out, but he has two in particular that like he does this revisionist history thing. And there's a song called Janila Forever and a song called Alan Forever, and it's about there's these two news stories. Janila was a little girl who got shot in Chicago, and she died. And he writes this song that basically, if she didn't die, and he like gives her a whole like life trajectory, and he's like she's ambitious, she becomes a doctor, and she works in the neighborhood, she helps everybody, and it's just like,
but no, because y'all shot her in the street.
yeah, it's just like goodness, it's so heavy, but it's so good. And I would listen to it on repeat all the time if it wasn't so freaking long. But yeah.
So on that note, guys, you can find us at...
No, before we do that, I'm going to, to end, I want to list all the people Gabby's attacked in this podcast.
Oh my God.
Gabby's attack list. Drake, Migos, Jay-Z, Eminem Kinda. Christmas albums.
Christmas, just in general.
SoundCloud
the entire
rappers.
season of Christmas.
Old white men. That's a concept in general. Danny Elfman, Nicki Minaj, Age of Ultron, and white people as a whole.
All right.
So...
On
You can find you on all the medias.
On that note,
All right.
On that note, Gabby, where can they find you on all the medias?
You can find me at Stegosaurus
Send the shade.
on the Instagram. I mean, you can come at me. I don't really care.
Unless you're Chris Brown.
wow. Listen, she didn't attack him.
Attack Chris Brown.
You can find me at Dreamy Films on Twitter and on Instagram. Let's go.
Find me at the Jester 1138 on Twitter and Instagram.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
Yes, you can.
We got that nice and loud.
Ellis.
I'm Dallas, and you can find me at a king named Simba on Twitter.
All right, guys. So remember, if you hate racism and you want to make the world a better place, like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to our channel,
Send it to your friends.
And
click the
to
notification
Send
button,
it to
and
Drake.
share it to everyone, including Drake, Chris Brown,
guys,
Mickey Mouse, old white people, and Santa.
and please tune in tomorrow when we will be doing our most anticipated movies of 2019.
Good.
Until then, have fun out there, guys.
Have fun out.
Bye.
Then I'm getting on any of those lists. Stay tuned to
Yes.
find out.
Most anticipated?
Wait.